Yo, it's your boy Orion, one half of Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. So I want to go over today. First off, say happy Saturday. You seen your boy grinding. I got 5-6 videos out, some reaction videos, but this is going to be a good one. The Northwest Sports Fanatics NFL Top 5 Most Underrated Quarterbacks going into the 2019 season. It's going to be one of those videos that no one will fully agree with me in my order, but I want you guys to comment below and obviously let me know what your top 5 underrated quarterbacks are going into the 2019 season. But I'll let a few people hop into the chat before I get into it. NFL Network right now has got the training camps underway. The Patriots were on this morning, so they're starting to get a lot of the teams acclimated to training camp. There was a AJ Green injury, which is kind of scary. I don't know how healthy he's going to be going in. Golden Tate suspended for the first 4 games. A lot of injuries with Shepard as well on the Giants, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in training camp. Who's going to stay healthy? Is Melvin Gordon going to sign? Is Zeke Elliott going to sign? How long are these guys going to hold out? That is a real big question, going into this season. But I'm really excited to do this video just because I think a lot of people have the wrong idea about a lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, we got Tom Brady. We got Aaron Rodgers. You got Matt Ryan, Cam Newton. I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks out there. Andrew Luck, Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson, Big Ben, Phillip Rivers. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it's easy to do kind of a top 5. But what about underrated? Not bottom 5, but underrated quarterbacks that are really discriminated against. People like to talk shit about these quarterbacks. We don't really know how good these quarterbacks are going to be, but that's kind of why I wanted to hop on. You know what I mean? I'm putting in the grind, and I wanted to go over that with you guys. And I guess I'll go over my first honorable mention. So the first honorable mention of a quarterback, I feel that he's a pretty good quarterback. A lot of people like to, kind of discriminate against this quarterback just because they're on a team that everyone hates. That's not named the New England Patriots. My honorable mention for quarterbacks, most wanted 28, Aaron Rodgers is easily and without a doubt the most underrated QB in the NFL, not even close. Well, Rodgers I don't think is underrated. I think most people going into last season had him as like top 2 quarterback in the league. In fantasy, you see a lot of people, thinking that they won't pick Aaron Rodgers first. You got Mahomes. Second, you have other quarterbacks that people are going to be looking at, maybe Deshaun Watson or Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are going to be able to. I know you're kidding and trolling. I know. But did you see the thing? There's been some articles, though, that people are saying that he's not a top 5 quarterback anymore, like legitimately. And so I guess that's kind of like, I don't know if that's just fantasy terms, or if they really feel that he isn't top 5. I mean, that's kind of weird to me. You know what I mean? But with all the hate and shit talking he gets, Dak is sure for top 5 underrated. J Baller Gaming. Well, I'll get into my list. We'll have to go in here and see. But like I said, as I go into my honorable mention, like I said, it is a guy that gets discriminated against a lot. People like to talk a lot of crap about this guy. In the red zone, his numbers are very good. If you look at his passing statistics, some of the statistics are in the bottom 5, bottom 2 in the NFL. Who am I talking about? But he's a pretty damn good quarterback for this team. I'm talking about Dak Prescott. 3,885 yards, 22 TDs, 8 picks. He can get touchdowns on the ground. Like I said, I know the Cowboys are hated. The Patriots are hated. Dak, is he worth the 25 or 30 million per year? To other teams, no. But with the Cowboys, yes, because he fits their system. I feel that he's better than really people give him credit for. It just depends on if you had him on your team. He's not the first pick in the draft. He wasn't a second round pick. You got to think if you go 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, you go deep. No one's really expecting anything out of you out there. So when you can go deep, in the draft, and you're a sleeper, and then you play a little bit better than people are expecting, you got to give credit where credit's due. So I got not number 5. My honorable mention, I wanted to put him kind of up there towards the top 5, but I got some better ones that I wanted to kind of sleep on, and people to go over. So honorable mention, Dak Prescott. is my honorable mention for today. Number 5. Number 5 is a quarterback that has a story that you could put in a movie. This guy has been unbelievable in the playoffs when it counts. He's been a journeyman. He had to step up big when the starting quarterback went down. A lot of people doubted this guy and didn't know if he'd be able to make it and end up, holding the Lombardi at the end of the day. But he has a new team now. He's moved on. So we're going to have to see if he'll be able to, acclimate with the new pieces. The defense that he inherited on his new team is pretty damn good. They're led by a guy named Jalen Ramsey and obviously a few other people up front like Calais Campbell. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about slick Nick Foles. So Nick Foles is a guy, we don't really know what to expect out of him. 1,413 yards, 7 TDs, 4 picks for the Eagles last year. What are you going to get from him? That is the big question. The team doesn't have as many weapons around them. Offensive line isn't as good. The defense is good. I'm not sure if the coaching is up to par as well, but he might be a guy that can help that team win the AFC South. I don't know if Tennessee is going to be able to compete with Mariota and with Ryan Tannehill. Okay, the Colts are the front runner with Andrew Luck, and then you also have Deshaun Watson and company, with obviously a few of their weapons as well, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt. They're going to be competing, but if anyone can surprise some people and maybe get that team to 10 wins, it could be slick Nick Foles. It's possible. We don't really know what we're going to get with him, but he has a chance to prove that he can be a starting quarterback in this league. The Jaguars took a chance on him. Let's see how good he really is. Slick Nick Foles at number 5. All right, man. Number 4. Number 4 is a quarterback that prefers to run before he throws. Now, we don't know how long that's going to last in this current age of, throwing the deep ball and getting open. We're talking about a quarterback that is the complete opposite of the starting quarterback that was there for, a good chunk of the career for this team in Baltimore. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about Lamar Jackson at number 4. 1,201 yards, 6 TDs, 3 picks. Likes to run, likes to be able to make plays with his feet. He has bulked up, I've seen in training camp, about 15 to 18 pounds of muscle. So I want to see if he's gotten better with his accuracy, better at getting his reads off, second option, third option, fourth option. I really want to be able to see if he can make his progressions with pressure. But the defense lost C.J. Mosley, so that is kind of concerning. But you did get Earl Thomas III, so we'll kind of have to wait and see what we're going to be able to get from Lamar Jackson. Number 3. Number 3 is a guy that played at USC. He could be the best quarterback that USC has ever seen in quite a long time. Could be better than Carson Palmer. He just got a guy named Le'Veon Bell to join the backfield. You got C.J. Mosley on the defense to pair up with Jamal Adams. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the New York Football Jets, 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 and Sam Darnold. Now, Sam Darnold, I feel, is underrated. 2,865 yards, 17 TDs, 15 picks. So it's a little high, but I think that with a steady running game, and obviously a great defense, his numbers should improve. I think that he should be able to get into that 25 to 30 touchdown range, maybe be around the same number in the picks, but if he can get that down under 14, that's going to be great for his development. He is a guy that I think with Baker Mayfield and a few others, Josh Allen, that they should start to be able to make their names in this league. So don't be surprised if Sam Darnold takes the next step. All right, number 3. Number two is a quarterback that benefited from the best defense in the league last year. We saw him at North Carolina. He has a steady hand. He makes good reads most of the time. The offense is a little thin this year, so I'm going to have to kind of see him make the plays and make the transition. Jordan Howard is gone. Tariq Cohen is in. They don't have a whole lot of weapons besides Allen Robinson, but we'll see what they can do with an elite defense behind them. Who am I talking about? Number 2, the Bears and Mitchell Trubisky. 3,223 yards, 24 TDs, 12 picks. So the numbers were pretty good. You have a great defense behind them, so you already know what you're going to be able to get there. It really just depends on if he can make his reads and if he can follow in line with the new coaching staff. See how things go. Obviously, with, Vic Fangio moving over to Denver, the whole aura in the locker room might be a little bit different. So I want to see Mitchell Trubisky be able to step up, but they have issues at kicker. Cody Parkey, I know that was, a big thing for that organization. But now you got guys that maybe you're going to have to pull off the street. So we'll see how good Mitchell Trubisky is. But I do think he's a little underrated. He's a little bit better than people think. And then we're going to my number 1 number one underrated quarterback going into the 2019 season. You're wondering, who could it be? Could it be Josh Rosen? Could it be someone else? Who could it be? My number one most underrated quarterback going into the 2019 season is who else? Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. 2,074 yards, 10 TDs, 12 picks. Those numbers will be much better this season. Look for Josh Allen to throw for about 20 TDs plus, get those interceptions down. They got a lot of weapons at running back. The defense has gotten better. I think that they have a good chance to compete with the Jets to try to get second place in the AFC East. He does have just a hell of an arm. He can whip it and he can zip it. But it's all about the accuracy in between the hashes and being able to make those, 10 and outs, 10 and ins, slant routes, fade routes, post routes. I need to see the full collection of the route tree, but I do believe in him, and I think he's going to be able to play great. So, number one, Josh Allen. So, again, honorable mention, Dak Prescott. Number 5, Nick Foles. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. Number 3, Sam Darnold. Number 2, Mitchell Trubisky. And number 1, Josh Allen. So I just wanted to go over some of those pieces, and I'll get into the comments here, and we can kind of go over. It's been a grinding kind of day. Obviously I've been pumping out the videos, You see the chain? I'm ready. The chain gang. I've been grinding, man. 4, 5, 6 videos. We'll go live. I'll do it all. So Aaron Rodgers is easily, without a doubt, the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. We got Troll Gang, most wanted 28, Troll. Yeah, I know you were kidding. And see J Baller Gaming with all the hate and the shit talking that gets Dak is for sure a top 5 underrated. He's up there. Clawmaster, Russell Wilson. They doubt him because they lost Baldwin and he doesn't have many weapons left. Tyler Lockett, that's a great weapon, right? You got DK Metcalf. They got plenty of guys. Chris Carson and company. They don't have a plethora, of wide receiver help, but I definitely would not put Russell Wilson in that category. I think most people think that the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs, and if they don't make the playoffs, they'll be very close. They should still be in that 9 or 10 win range, even with Russell Wilson with limited weapons, but I think you're going to see how good Tyler Lockett really is. I had him in fantasy last year before he broke out. I knew that he was going to be a great player. He's the number one now. Now we just got to get DK Metcalf up to speed. He may not be able to run routes just yet, but instead of getting 500 yards and 5 TDs, if they can get him to maybe 800 yards and 9 TDs or 8 TDs, then that will be able to take them to the next level. And that's my personal opinion. J Baller Game, second most wins since he came in the league. Dakota Odell, Josh Rosen. See, the thing is for me with Josh Rosen, I'm not really sure what you're going to get out of him. You're on the worst team in the NFL. On the Miami Dolphins, you got Ryan Fitzpatrick. You have 2 options that what you can do. Number 1, right, with Josh Rosen, you can start him. You're going to lose more games. You're guaranteed the first pick in the draft. You get Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, as I'm wearing the jersey right now. All right. Go Ducks, Justin Herbert. But I'm not sure if that's the route they're going to go. If they go Ryan Fitzpatrick, you're going to win more games. You're going to have better numbers in the slot with Albert Wilson. You're going to have a better overall team. They're going to play harder for Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic. So it just depends on if they want to, tank and try to act like they're not tanking and saying that they believe in Josh Rosen when they don't. But I don't really have a whole lot of faith in Josh Rosen based off the players that were drafted. I think Baker Mayfield, obviously the rest of the guys that they have, Sam Darnold, Allen. I think a lot of the other quarterbacks are just better. Rosen didn't have anything to work with, on the Arizona Cardinals. The O-line was garbage. David Johnson wasn't the same. Defense wasn't good. But, this situation is a little bit better for Rosen. But I just don't think that, this guy, I'm not really sure. He might be just a journeyman, maybe a backup quarterback for a good chunk of his career until he gets a shot on maybe on another team. But as far as all the rookie quarterbacks from last year, I have him kind of towards the bottom. I think a lot of the other quarterbacks have a lot more potential with, Allen, Mayfield, and Darnold. Corey Williams, Jake Fromm. I like Jake Fromm. There's a lot of talent out there. So, hello, Ryan. Finally made it to a live stream of yours, TubeFN. I want to tell you that I appreciate you and Marcus for being the best analysts on YouTube, even better than ones on TV. Thank you so much that you recognize the grind. We have no bias. I put in the work. I put in the time. I think I did about 4 or 5 reaction videos today on top of going live, and then I might even do another couple afterwards. It's just nice to be able to hear, the fan base really appreciate the grind. And, it's not just for views. It's not just for hot takes or to argue or to say silly shit that isn't true, like Skip and Shannon. I like Shannon, but Skip says shit just to get ratings, and I feel TV does that, and you're going to have fun. You know what I mean? Like when I take people to go to Ducks games, or if we go to a Seahawk game or a Blazer game, Mariner game, you better believe you're going to have the time of your life. We're going to sit close. We're going to have a great time. We're going to get some memorabilia, maybe a foul ball, or, we're going to eat the food that's there. We're going to make sure we have the best time, but I appreciate comments like that, TubeFN. Please come back into the stream. Watch our videos. It seems like you are one of those people that will do that. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that. And the number one thing is, if you guys don't donate, money, that's okay. If you think I'm worth it or Marcus is worth it, that'd be fantastic. Because it's the dream that we're trying to do. But just the fact that you're on here, tell friends. That like sports. If you think they'd like this channel, spread the word. Try to get us to 20,000 subscribers, sooner than later. I know we're going to get there naturally, once we get into the NFL season and I start reacting, to these live games, and the stream is going to be big. I don't know how many people are going to be in the room. We might have 500, 1,000. 2,000, 5,000, but I know once I go live for like Monday Night Football, you're going to get the best commentary. You're going to have the funnest time. You can have the TV on, put it on mute, put me and Marcus on, or if it's just me, definitely I'm going to make sure it's a great show for you guys there. But just that comment alone, that just made my day. So I really, really do appreciate TubeFN. And like I said, if you know anybody, family, friends, people at school, people at work, share it. Let's try to get this channel up to 20,000, and sooner than later. But I really appreciate you, TubeFN. Thank you so much. Tony Grady, I think Derek Carr is going to have a great season. Aside from setting career highs last season, this is the second time in his career being in the same offensive system for a second year, plus new wide receivers. Yeah, that is another option. That was going to be one of my honorable mentions with Dak Prescott, but I think Carr is a little bit better, than people are giving him credit for. I don't know how good some people think he is. Is Carr a top 10 quarterback in the league? No. Is he somewhere between like 11 and 16? Yes. Will he return to MVP form where he was in that mode before he got injured a couple years ago? We don't know. This is the new regime with Gruden and Mayock. The draft picks I thought were kind of questionable. Cleveland Farrell, it seemed like that might be the piece for them. But when you had guys like, Devin White, like that Tampa Bay got, Josh Allen, that was, obviously floating around there, that went to Jacksonville at linebacker. I know they're looking for a pass rusher. Josh Jacobs' pick I liked, at running back. But some of the picks were kind of, you have to make sure that you have really hit on those since you had 3 first-rounders. But I do like Carr's potential. I just don't know what you're going to get this season. Without a shadow of a doubt, fly like a butterfly, sting like AB is one of my favorite wide receivers in the league. I have him top 3. He's been training harder than anyone on social media as far as showing how hard he's training to work with the chemistry with Carr. But I'm not sure if that alone is going to be enough. The defense is a little thin. Offensive line is a little thin. You do have some weapons, Tyrell Williams from the Chargers that came over for the Raiders. So, there's some potential there, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, right, ahead of Denver or the Chargers or the Chiefs, who are arguably the 2 best teams in the AFC, not named Tom Brady and the Patriots. And then I think they'll have a chance to go to a wild card. We'll have to see how long Phillip Rivers plays. The Chiefs are going to be leading that division for quite some time, but there'll be some, movement between the Chargers, the Raiders, and Denver. It just depends on how each team develops and with the coaching that they're getting. And if John can actually coach Mr. Gruden like he did at Tampa Bay, we have to wait to see if that can happen. But Carr is one of those guys, he has a chance to be a top 10 quarterback, but it might not be for a couple years, depending on, who he has around him. It's a playbook that Gruden demands. If you have 20 words that are one play in the NFL, and then you have to audible and remember another 20 words for a play like they did in Tampa Bay, that's tough. That doesn't mean he's stupid. It's just like that's asking a lot out of any quarterback. So we'll have to see how that looks. But Carr could be a guy that could show out and maybe surprise everyone. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Dalton Barman. I'm just happy the Lions defense is looking solid. And yeah, and then you got Mr. Daniels. Who would have thought that he would have went there? Your front 4 is nice, right? You got a lot of pieces on the front 4. We just got to see what Stafford can do. But the defense looks good. I was impressed. With Daniels, Mike Daniels, he could have went anywhere. I think he had about 7 or 8 offers. Patriots wanted him. A lot of teams value his services. He got injured last year. They have a lot of pieces that they thought they could, replace him. I'm not sure. We'll see. But hopefully the Lions got a nice one there moving forward. Jake Fromm, State Farm, Star Farm. State Farm, he says. You should do a top 5 for college football. I will, Corey Williams. I can do that. TubeFN. Yeah, I watch every video. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you a lot. You know what I mean? You guys recognize the grind. I'm here for you guys. I'm here just to kind of show you that I'm just like you guys. I'm a hardcore sports fan. I love the NFL. I'm watching NFL Network. I've been watching it literally all day. I met up with one of my Chargers buddies, Joey Gomez. Got him a little Charger pennant so he can hang it up before the season starts. And then I'm right back here in the lab, just grinding away. But I appreciate TubeFN for watching the video. Prayer Man 2009. Hello, brother. Carson Wentz. Hello, brother. NWO for life, brother. Carson Wentz, fly, Eagles fly. Sorry, Marcus, LOL. But the thing is that I don't think Carson Wentz is underrated. I have him as my top 5 quarterback going into this season. He's my number 3. So that shows you how much confidence that I have. If I got Patrick Mahomes number 1, Andrew Luck 2, and I got Carson Wentz 3, not a lot of people, or I had Drew Brees at 2. So I had Mahomes 1, and I think I had Drew Brees 2, Andrew Luck 3, Carson Wentz 4. I mean, to even have Carson Wentz in the top 5, that says a lot. That really, is kind of says like, hey, I believe in you. You got rid of Nick Foles. Obviously, Carson Wentz is the guy. They're going to have to kind of monitor the snaps, in training camp. But I think they're going to win the division this season. They're going to get 10 or 11 wins. And I would be scared if I was playing them in the playoffs. They got a lot of depth. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching, running back depth. Howie Roseman, scary. He's so talented. People don't realize how talented of a GM Howie Roseman is. One of the best in the NFL, hands down. Period. That's how great he is. Let's see here. But a top 5 for college football, like quarterbacks, I can do that. I watch so much college football, it's insane. Like I said, I usually watch when the college football season starts. Since I'm a Pac-12 guy with Oregon, as you can see, with me being a huge Duck fan, Herbert guy, you know what I mean, and Mariota and all the rest, Michael James, Anthony Thomas. I mean, I'm an Oregon guy through and through, not a bandwagon. I could definitely, go over lots and lots of games, for college football, Pac-12, SEC, Big Ten, ACC. I mean, I watch Ohio State, Michigan. I look for draft picks. I look to analyze a lot of these players, because it's going to be one of those things that that's why we're so smart, and we know so much about every single team, every single player, every single backup is because of the amount of tape that we watch. And I enjoy it. I mean, college football is great. It's just like in college football for EA Sports, they need to bring that shit back. I mean, I miss playing that game, and that would literally, kind of help you kind of gauge, okay, I know this player, and even playing Madden makes, the NFL fan base smarter because you're starting to go against those matchups with your team against other teams, and you kind of see like who's beating your ass online, or you know what I mean? You start to get the knowledge there on who's good in the NFL and who's starting to be on the uprise and the cream of the crop of guys that are underrated. TubeFN, since 2017, you've been watching. Wow. I'm a Saints fan, and you guys aren't biased, especially since you are a Bucks fan. You still show support to the Saints. I know, isn't that crazy? People talk to me all the time about that's how much they appreciate the channel and everything, because you're not on YouTube, and just I think in general, if you go anywhere to a bar or school, everyone just loves to talk shit. America loves ignorance. Everyone loves to argue. So it's kind of refreshing. I'm giving you something that's, not a hot take, so you can just see people argue and get ratings. If I think someone is good, I don't give a shit what team they're on. Period. If I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, I'm hardcore, for a long time, since 95, and I see Drew Brees, just dominating, I'm going to give him love. If I think Alvin Kamara is the shit and he's my favorite running back in the NFL and he's not on my team, but he's my rival, I'm going to give him credit. Alvin Kamara, AK-41, the alien, is my favorite running back in the league right now. Come at me. That's what it is. I'm a Bucs fan, but I love greatness. Michael Thomas, another guy. I got Mike Evans on my team, but I love Michael Thomas, another guy that doesn't get enough respect. Did a video today. Wanted to kind of show some love to how much I really appreciate Michael Thomas. People think that he's not a top 3 wide receiver. Stupid, okay? They don't watch football. They're not sport fanatics. They don't look at the stats. You can't get the most receptions in the first 3 years in your career, the most in NFL history out of anybody, even Jerry Rice. And he's not top 3. Okay. Well, that means that person will lose their fantasy league. You got to look at, the players and give credit where credit's due. But that's awesome that you've watched since 2017. Like I said, we've been grinding. We've been doing videos since 2012, 13, but we haven't been on YouTube for that long. This is going into our 3rd season for NFL, and it's going to be the best season of them all. All right. TJ, I'm in a keeper league. Should I keep Zach Ertz in the 4th round? Oh, that's a good question. Who did you pick in the first 3 picks? Did you go like running back, wide receiver, or running back, wide receiver, wide receiver? Because if you went like that, then I probably would keep Zach Ertz, because you're going to think you got Travis Kelce, right? Zach Ertz, right? And then you got Kittle, and then you got Ebron and O.J. Howard, right? So as far as the Eagles' offense is concerned, I mean, the amount of points that you're going to be able to get, Kelsey's going to get the most points more than likely, and there'll be a little bit of a gap. But Kittle dominate last year. You know, he's athletic. But I would keep Zach Ertz. Yes, I would do that, definitely, because he's a top 2 tight end in the league. You wouldn't want to drop a guy like that unless, if you did drop him, you know, you went running back, wide receiver, and then in the next round, if you could get, like in the 5th round, like an O.J. Howard, Ebron, you could go like that, but you're going to lose some production, because I think Ertz is going to get a lot of targets. I mean, they have a lot of weapons around them, you know, with D-Jack's back and Darren Sproles and whatnot, but Ertz is like that 3rd down guy, Mr. Reliable. You know that he's going to be able to make those big plays when you need it. So as far as 4th round, if it was any earlier, you know, I probably wouldn't, you know, but if it's 4th round, yeah, I definitely would keep him. Matthew Stafford, another guy. New world order, as Tube FN would say. For life, brother. Hollywood Hogan, my favorite of all time. Matthew Stafford, another guy that's a little underrated. I expect more from him, though, because he was the first pick, right, in the 1st round from Georgia. I mean, this guy should be more closer to the stat line of like a Matt Ryan. And I feel that, you know, he hasn't had a whole lot to work with. It's not all his fault. Hasn't had a running game until last year with Kerryon Johnson. The running game has been shit. The offensive line's been shit. Don't have enough to compete typically year in and year out. You had Megatron for a little bit. That was fucking fun to watch. You know, Stafford and Megatron was just money. You know what I mean? But you got to have more than 3 or 4 guys on each side of the ball to compete, not only in the division, right, in the NFC North, right, to go against the Bears, the Vikings, and the Packers, but in the NFC, the most competitive conference in the NFL. You know, any number of about 6 to 8 teams could make the Super Bowl. You know, it's usually you have a couple top-heavy teams, but if you're number 6 in the playoffs as a wild card and you get in, you can roll it all the way to the Super Bowl. We've seen it happen. My safety, Quandre Diggs, is so underrated. Safety play. Yeah, there's a couple of safeties that are underrated. Prayer Man 2009, have you done a top coaches in the NFL video? I actually was thinking about doing something like that. I can do that later tonight, tomorrow. I mean, I don't know how many videos I'm going to be doing today. I mean, I've already done like 4 or 5 reaction videos today. I'm going live now here with you guys, and then maybe I'll do that tomorrow or later on tonight. And I don't know, you'll probably be surprised where I put some of the coaches, you know, based on how I think, you know, certain organizations are run. Prayer Man 2009, 2 thumbs up for the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I really enjoy watching you guys. Thank you so much for life, brother. Prayer Man 2009, I've always seen you in the comments. Thank you. That means a lot. You know, smash the like button, share, donate, tell a friend, tell your family. Let's get this to 20,000, you know, and my goal this season is to get the channel to 30, you know, by the end of football season. So we got to make sure we grind, and I'm going to show you how much I'm going to grind. But I'm really happy that people enjoy, you know, my hot takes, or, you know, my, you know, not biased takes. You know, I give love to everybody. You know, if I feel someone's good, I'm going to let them know. King Ditto, Russell Wilson is so underrated. I don't think so. I think Russell Wilson's one of those guys that everyone knows he's good, fears him. You know, as far as like the short quarterbacks, it's him and Drew Brees. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's got Sierra. His life is good. You know what I mean? Like, I get to see him here in about 2 weeks when I go up to see the Seahawks versus the Broncos preseason. I'm excited. I got 4th row, 50-yard line seats, behind the Bronco bench with my friend who's a huge Bronco guy. I'm going to be yelling at Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. Probably go to the other side and yell at Russell Wilson. See if I can get a towel or some kind of merch. You know, it's not likely, but you never know. Might be able to get something. Even something like as an armband for my buddy would be huge. So he's kind of shy. So if I can do it, you know, that's going to make his whole experience for the NFL just more than anything. So Prayer Man with a $2 donation. Thank you so much for loving the channel. Thank you for giving me 2 thumbs up. And thank you for donating. It means a lot. You know, fly Eagles fly. I know what's up, man. Top 5 offensive lines. You should do that. TJ, great suggestion. We can do that. We can definitely do that. And you know I got the knowledge. I can give you offensive lines that are top 5. Definitely. Let's see here. Tony Grady, regardless of your sub count, you guys have the most passion for the game and love for the subs that I've seen on YouTube, and your grind is acknowledged and appreciated. Thank you. Raiders. It's true. I feel that, regardless of the sub count, whether if I'm at 18,000, 50,000, 100,000, my attitude, my love for the game, for the NFL is not going to change. College football, sports in general. And I'm glad that you recognize that. I feel that I'm going to give you the most information, right? I'm going to give you the most passion, and I'm going to give you the most entertainment that a lot of these channels have. I mean, I can go on here and do a channel, right, and have fancy editing, fancy thumbnails, fancy background editing, drink beers and be drunk and say dumb shit, but that's not who I am, you know what I mean? I know some, if you want to do that, that's fine, you know what I mean? Or, maybe you don't have the knowledge as the Northwest Sports Fanatics do, you know what I mean? That's okay, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm not going to just, drink beers and act stupid and then, and then have some incredible, sub count or whatever. So, you know what I mean? It's like I'm going to give the knowledge and leave a legacy behind, and I'm really happy that you see that and you appreciate that, because I do have the love for the game. I do have the passion for the game, and, there's not a whole lot of people I feel that are doing what me and Marcus are doing. And so that's really cool that you're acknowledging that. That makes me happy. 6 Inc. What is up, my guy? I'm late. What was the list? I'm going to go over it for you because, that's what I do. John Roberts. What is up, my guy? I'm going to go over the list for you as well. All right. You're still here. That's good enough for me. Thank you. You helped me a lot on picking my fantasy. I'm going to help you guys with fantasy. Even if we're doing a fantasy league, I'm pretty good. I usually win a fantasy league every year, or if I don't, I'm usually in the top 3. It's a 24-hour grind, wires, looking at stats, looking at, it's a week-to-week, year-long game. It's not just, keeping a stacked roster of names. You really got to adjust your roster week in and week out. If you don't, you'll lose, and you're not going to get to the title game unless you have just an insane number of guys that don't get hurt. And in fantasy, guys get hurt all the time, and that could just derail your fantasy chances. So I'll definitely give you the right knowledge, and I'm going to help you guys try to win as many as possible. I'm watching number 50 to 41 on the top 100. I'm watching it too. It's right here to my right. So I watch NFL Network 24 hours a day, baby. I love it. I'm infatuated with it. Kay Adams and everybody else. I love it. Let's see here. Russell Wilson is an oddity to the NFL fan base. Everyone will say that he's all the Seahawks have, yet will say that he's still average. No one says that he's average. Everyone thinks he's an amazing quarterback. To be honest, I was hoping that if Russell Wilson decided to leave Seattle, that he would join the Nolans Saints, because if, Breeze left, what a great piece to just throw in, that you'd be able to continue the legacy there if he was going to leave. But then, obviously he got the deal done in Seattle, and he's going to go down in Seattle history as probably the best player, period, to put on cleats there. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Fly, Eagles, fly, TJ, Eagles fan living in New York City. Are you kidding me? $24.99 donation. Dude, you are incredible, bro. Dude, I don't even know what to say. Like, thank you so much. Dude, I get a donation for $1, and that means everything to me. $1.50, $2, $9.99. I know once we go live and I start doing these big games, there'll be a chance to make probably a good amount, but it's not about the money, but just the fact that you're doing that and the amount that you're doing. You really have to love the channel and love me and Marcus to do something like that, and I appreciate that. Dude, that is awesome. And the first donation ever, bro, that means so much to me. Thank you so much. And I'm not just, just trying to say that. You see the grind. If you've seen the videos a day, I put out 4 or 5 videos already, and I'm doing this live video. So, damn, way to just touch my heart like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really to show the love and how many people love me and what people say, the stuff that they do. It's just, you guys are the best, and I'm going to work harder than anybody on YouTube. Period. No one is going to touch me. Once we go into the NFL season, I'm going to give you all the information, all the hot takes, give you everything I got. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are the shit, especially you, TJ. Thank you so much, man. That's awesome. NFL teams is going to struggle to run the ball against my Detroit Lions. Well, the front 4 is good, but I want to see how many points you guys can score. And to be honest, V. Wilson, I don't like Matt Patricia. It's not necessarily that he came from, New England. I just don't think that's a fit for your team. I think you guys need to give him the boot. But you won't give him the boot till who knows when. But I just don't think that's the right coach. I'm not always right all the time, but just my personal feeling, the way that the players are reacting to him, I just don't think that they're listening. It's like his speeches are going on deaf ears, and I just don't think that's the right fit for that personal coach there. They may prove me wrong, but I think in a year or two or whenever they decide to do it, he's getting axed and they're going to have to get someone else. So that's just my hot take, big facts. John Roberts, it also must be cool that you get to talk about a passion of yours whenever you want. Pretty cool. You work hard to do it, which is a bonus. Hard work feels good. And if you really realize it, this isn't my full-time job like some of these other YouTubers. A lot of the videos that we do, we don't get any money for them. Zero. You know what I mean? So imagine me doing like 5 or 6 videos for the fans, right? And I get nothing. Marcus gets nothing. You know what I mean? We get subs. You know, we get the views. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily about that. But a lot of YouTubers, are trying to make a living. But I have a full-time job that I wake up at 4 a.m, right? Do Verizon Business on the phone, talking to business owners in New York and in Boston. A lot of them are rude. You know what I mean? And I do that from 5:45 in the morning until 2, and then I grind with you guys after. So it shows you how much love and passion I have for the NFL and for you guys. You know what I mean? And on the weekends. I mean, look at this. I mean, once I got the equipment moved over here to my place, and then my dad had the stroke, and, I decided to make changes in my life and not party as much. Now you guys can really see how much I'm going to give to the channel and how much this dream really means to me. And simple things like, Fly, Eagles Fly, TJ with his donation. That's the biggest donation out of these live chats that I've gotten so far. And having him do his first for me, I don't know if you guys really can understand how much that means to me, because I'm always doing nice things for other people. It makes me happy when I can buy a gift for a friend. Like today, Joey Gomez is one of my best friends. I went to a card shop here local in town, and I found him a Chargers banner that has all the logos of their history, 3 of them, on like patchwork. Really nice piece of, just like carpet that you can hang up on the wall, as a banner. And it just the look on his face when I gave it to him today, when I picked him up, was priceless. So it's like, it's cool when you're younger, when you look forward to Christmas and people buy stuff for you, but when you can do something nice for someone else, it really does make a difference. And like TJ, wow, insane. And I'm going to go over the list in just a second for John Roberts and for Six Inc and the rest of y'all. So I definitely will do that. John Brown, Josh Allen have crazy chemistry already. And John Roberts, bro, you send me stuff on Twitter, I look at it, and it's not like, I'm going to be this stuck-up guy and be like, whatever. Dude, anything you send me on Twitter that's Buffalo Bill related, I will literally watch every single video, every single article. Keep sending that to me. I like that stuff because I already go out of my way to follow, people on every team. But then if you can give me more, I love it. I'm going to be all over that. So, TJ, thank you so much again. Russell Wilson is great. Sixing Russell Wilson is Drew Brees, but younger and more mobile, in my opinion. Matthew Sanchez, what is good, my guy? What up? Glad you're here. First donation ever for TJ. John Roberts, nice, TJ. Tube FN, do you still watch wrestling? Yes, I do. WWE is pretty dry right now. Agreed. AEW is the new breed. They are going to be on Wednesdays in the fall. TNT, I'm going to watch it. I might even start going to buy the network, and I'll go live maybe for NXT takeovers or SummerSlam. I haven't decided if I really want to do it. I know it'll open up to a whole nother fan base, and I can do that. But I absolutely love wrestling, and I know some people have given up on it and they don't like it. But I've been one of those guys. I started watching wrestling at like 3-4 years old, right? I'm 37. I don't look 37, right? Isn't that like crazy? Right? I look young, but I've been watching it for like 30 plus years, right? I will never stop watching wrestling. I'm a huge fan. I have VHSs, DVDs. I mean, it's just one of those things that I always used to like watching, WCW with the NWO and Hollywood Hogan, NWO for life, brother. I collect the figures, elite figures. I'm one of those like 40-year-old virgin collector kind of guys. So I got figures on figures, old ones, Kurt Angle, The Rock, Stone Cold, Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, even the new guys, Brock Lesnar, and obviously some of the other ones, Shinsuke, everybody, anyone that I like, Randy Orton, Ricochet, who's nice. But yeah, I still watch it, and I'll never stop. I know some people stop, but I definitely won't. Have you watched WCW with NWO? Sorry for changing the subject. No, it's all right. I watch everything. Like you would have no idea. Like my extensive knowledge in wrestling is very high, just like it is with NFL. And I always take time to have the Raw and SmackDown, even if it's a shitty product. I still watch it. Paul Heyman is in charge of Raw. And now that's what I guess for storyline, Triple H is given some leeway, and he's doing some of the storyline now. And then Eric Bischoff, who used to run WCW, is doing SmackDown. So we'll see if it gets any better. But I'm really looking forward to AEW to compete. I really wanted them to be on Mondays for Monday Night Wars, but having their own day on Wednesday, Raw Monday, SmackDown Tuesday, AEW on Wednesday. Fuck, I like that. I like that. Football on Thursday, fuck. Saturday, college football. Sunday, fucking NFL. It's going to be crazy. I love that shit, man. I watch everything. Let's see here. Let's go up. Let's see here. Matthew Sanchez, best fucking channel ever. Thank you. Who are those figures in the background? Is that Montana? Yeah, it's Joe Montana, 1988 starting lineup the very first year. So I have old figures, and that's all wrapped up in plastic. So that's the very first Joe Montana starting lineup ever. And then I have, in the other side is Jerry Rice, and that is a second year, 1989 Jerry Rice in the package. I got lots of starting lineups. Ken Griffey Jr., the very first Michael Jordan, pretty much anyone that you can think of. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, all the originals from like 88. I have McFarlane figures too, a bunch of them. Chase figures that are worth like $150, $200. I got the Ken Griffey Jr. Chase with the wall, Mariner uniform. I got the Jerry Rice Chase figure, the 49er version that's worth about $150, $200. So, big figure guy. That's probably one of my hobbies that I like the most, is collecting sport figures and action figures and wrestling figures. I have hundreds of them in the package. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know if it's my retirement, but I just enjoy it. Just been doing it since I was 5 years old, and it's just kind of my hobby on the side. Let's see here. Tube FN, congrats. Thank you, TJ, for the donation. Yeah, you're the fucking shit, man. Green Mobsta, you two are the most knowledgeable when it comes to sports I've seen, and I've seen a lot. Thank you. I pride myself on that. It's like everyone that watches sports is a quote-unquote expert, right? But then a lot of people like to bullshit, or they're watching ESPN, and if you notice, when I'm going over these things, I don't say, well, let me get back to you, or let me look that up on Google or Bing or Yahoo. A lot of it is up here just because, I've been grinding, and I read and watch tape like literally all day, every day. Even when I'm at work, when I'm supposed to be calling business owners, I'm on NFL.com, I'm on ESPN.com. Should I be on there? Maybe not, but you know what I mean? I'm multitasking. If I got to call a business owner, and on the side, I'm looking at NFL news, and I'm going over rosters on every team. Depth charts, fantasy football information. Hey, I'm going to fucking do it, because I pride on myself on being the best that's out there. It's like if I could go against like Skipper Shannon or ESPN or Colin Cowherd or go on the radio, I know I can do it. I've already been on the radio, a few different times on a few different networks and whatnot, for little hot take things. But, I pride myself on that, and it's cool that you recognize that because it means a lot because I want to give my knowledge to you guys, and then you guys can suck that in, and you guys can learn things that you've never known before, or just, keep your plate, just keep stacking it up, stack them chips with that knowledge, and I'm going to give it to you guys. So that's awesome. Let's see here. Have you ever watched Ring of Honor Wrestling? I have. I watch all the federations as much as I can. I know CM Punk, I know AEW reached out and tried to get him to come, but it sounds like he wasn't interested. Him and AJ Lee are married. If they could come to AEW, Dean Ambrose is there as John Moxley, and you got Chris Jericho and, Goldust, Stardust, and, you got a lot of talent over there, and they're going to be the ones that take over. I know WWE, Seth Rollins is one of my favorites too, and, he's like, this is the best, federation, but it's been dry. It has been dry for a while, and only hardcore fans like myself are still watching, and that's big facts. Let's see here. I can't wait for Carson. Deshaun Jackson. Eagles had a problem. They didn't have a deep threat. Now they do. Agreed. D-Jax was on Tampa Bay. I've always been a fan. He's bounced around. His best years were with the Eagles. And, getting talent. I think you guys got Orlando Scandrick, I believe, earlier today, this morning. So we'll see what role he has on the defense, former Cowboy. But getting Deshaun Jackson is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to Dallas Goedert with Zach Ertz and double tight end sets. I'm really excited about that. And then the depth that you guys have at running back is insane. Darren Sproles for a year, Josh Adams. You got Jordan Howard coming in from the Bears. You got pieces on pieces on pieces. Miles Sanders, from Penn State. I know, man. I know this Eagle roster. It's going to be scary. Like I said, besides the Nolans Saints, the Eagles are my favorite team in the NFC to go far this year. Besides the Nolans Saints, those are my top two. I really feel that both teams are going to show out this season. Bill Romanowski. I collect starting lineups too. That's awesome. Not a lot of people do. The cool thing is about starting lineups, if you're a sport guy or you're a little older, they come with cards, as you can see back there, right? And sometimes they come with a coin, right? Or they come with a card. They come with like extras. The helmets are separate off the player, so you can attach them and put them on. Just a lot of cool extra things that they have with the starting lineups. And then they went out of business, Kenner, around 2000. And then McFarlane, Todd McFarlane, that did Spawn, he got the license for all the sport figures: hockey, NASCAR, basketball, baseball, football. So if you ever go to a card shop and you see McFarlane's, that's where it's from. It's from Todd McFarlane that did Spawn, and then I collect those too. So I got first-year LeBrons, I got Chase figures. I mean, every single player that you could possibly think of on all the sports. I mean, I got a good chunk. I even have NASCAR McFarlane's. That shows you how deep it goes. I got Dale Juniors, Dale Seniors, you know what I mean, Jeff Gordon's. I got it all, man. But that's awesome. Eric Bischoff for SmackDown. Yeah. So do you watch Dragon Ball Z Super? I don't. But one thing is, I do watch a lot of cartoons though when I'm not reading. I just follow pretty much everything. National Geographic, Discovery Channel, History Channel, and I try to get my cartoons in. It just depends on what I'm kind of feeling at the time. Simpsons guy, that's kind of what I look to the most. It's one of those cartoons is like if you're having a shitty day, watch The Simpsons for a half hour, you're good. Family Guy, you're good. Puts you in a mood. You can laugh. There's other ones that are really good out there. I'm looking forward to Rick and Morty. I watch Rick and Morty, but I'm waiting for those new ones to come out. I watch that religiously. That's funnier than shit. Moxley. Yeah, John Moxley. Everyone watches Dragon Ball Super. Cardinals cut Robert Natepsi a bust. I don't know. Do you have that Larry Walker Rockies figure with the wall attached? 1996, I think. I don't, but I do have a wide variety of players. Usually when I have them, I have ones that I look up to, but I have like all the Griffies. Ken Griffey Jr.'s, a lot of the first-year pieces, like the ones you can see in the background, first or second years. So it really depends if I have something that's not a first or second or third-year piece. It has to be pretty special, or a player that I really am in love with. But I'll bring them in here. I'll show you guys. One of these days I'll have them stacked up over here and I can show you and stuff. But I got boxes on boxes on boxes. In my kitchen right now as I'm looking over, I don't even have a kitchen table. My girlfriend gets really pissed at me because I'm like such a huge collector. Literally, I have moving boxes stacked up like 3, 4, 5 high, and I have like probably 40 of them just to my left over here. And I have figures on top of those boxes and wrestling belts and baseballs that I've gotten from games and wrestling figures. Glasses. Because I don't want to get a storage unit because it makes me happy. You know what I mean? Looking at the stuff I've collected since I've been 5 years old. But one of these days I'll do a video maybe, and you guys can check out my memorabilia and see what you guys think there. So let's see here. Vince said WWE is sophisticated. Well, Vince, he's a billionaire. He knows what he's doing there, but I know he's scared about AEW, and one of two things is going to happen. He's going to have to step his game up and go back to like, the Attitude Era where they say like shit, fuck, bitch, and do a lot of like kind of, racy things, right? And they're going to have to get back to doing the fireworks in the beginning and making it like actually putting some effort instead of just being like, hey, I bought ECW, I bought WCW, I shut them down, I'm rich, I'm the best. AEW ain't going anywhere, and that's going to compete with WWE, and I guarantee you I watch more AEW, and I like NXT actually better than SmackDown, and even sometimes better than Raw. I like the Ultimate Bro. There's a Matt Riddle. Bro. I mean, when you watch some of these guys, Johnny Gargano and some of these guys that are in NXT, the NXT is so awesome is because the fan base, I feel it's like this channel, like in Northwest Sports Fanatics. It's like you get more of like a certain environment where it's more passionate, it's smaller, it's darker, and the fan base knows all the chants. It's, you know what I mean? There's just more, it's like an ECW show from back in the day. There's just more passion and energy, and you don't have to be a big name. They got Velveteen Dream is one of those guys that's in NXT right now. He could be like when Ricochet was, if they want to give him the push. Very, very skilled guy. There's a lot of guys that can come up, but it just depends on who gets the push and who doesn't. But I love fucking wrestling a lot, man. Matthew Sanchez, I'm going to start fantasy for the first time, and I have no clue what players that chips or who to start with, so I'm kind of going to be a noob at this. Any suggestions? Yeah, man, I can help you. You know what I mean? Fantasy football is tough. So ultimately, Matthew Sanchez, what you want to do is not pick a quarterback in the first round, no matter even if it's Patrick Mahomes, because the way that fantasy works is you need to build the roster. Running backs and wide receivers get hurt a lot, And if you have a flex, right, you can play a third running back or a third wide receiver. Typically, if you have 3 running backs, that's going to get you points because they get points when they run. And if they catch balls, right, they get points for that too. And if you're in a PPR league, points per reception league, which is a separate league, right, then you get extra points. So getting a guy like Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey, right, if you get him with like a top 2 pick, top 3 pick, that's a perfect guy to stick with even though it's your team. You know what I mean? So that's why in the draft, you're going to get guys that are running backs in the whole first round out of like a 10 or 12 round. It's going to be like 8 running backs. You might see 1 or 2 wide receivers, maybe a tight end, like Travis Kelce sprinkled in there, but you normally won't see any quarterbacks. And if you reach, you're going to fucking lose. You need to go like running back, wide receiver, wide receiver, or running back, wide receiver, running back, and then tight end, you know what I mean? And then maybe like a quarterback in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. If you do that, you'll end up with a guy like Matt Ryan or, someone like a Cam Newton or something like that. But you may want someone a little bit better, but you just got to be careful on who you get. But you want to stack your chips to have as many running backs and wide receivers because those are the guys that you're going to use the most, and those are the guys that are going to carry you throughout the season. But I'll help you, man. If you need me to do a mock draft, I'll be able to help you. But a lot of people give shitty advice. But if you end up going, differently, or if you go like wide receiver, right? And you get 2 top-notch guys, but then you go 3rd round running back and all the good ones are gone, you know what I mean? And you're stuck with 2 mediocre ones, then you're fucked. Unless those 2 wide receivers you got are like Michael Thomas and like DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, if you have those guys and then 2 other running backs that are kind of like middle tier, maybe like a Nick Chubb will break out, then maybe you'll be able to survive. But, you're going to have guys at the top like Saquon Barkley, right? Run CMC, Zeke, Alvin Kamara. Those are going to be the first 4 picks in any fantasy draft. If you don't pick one of those 4 guys, you're going to be fucked. So, that's some advice for you. But if you need any help, just put the comments below. I'll help you draft, and I'll help you win your league. Bottom line. A lot of people come to me for advice for betting because they know I got this sports ESP, and I've helped a lot of people win a lot of money. And in return, they'll give me, merch, clothes, gear. Or maybe they're like, I'll give you a bottle of alcohol, or I'll give you, this or that. Normally I'll take money or whatever. But, I mean, if I can help someone steer them the right way, if they're going to make a bet, like in the Super Bowl, right, when the Eagles played New England, I said in the preview video, Eagles were going to win. They were going to win big. Everyone was afraid to say it. I truly believed it. People bet on me, and I helped people win a shitload of money, based off that Eagles pick, because I thought they were going to win big, like 9, 10, 11 points, and they did. And I'm not always right in the spread, but as far as, like, winning, I feel I can pick the winner, like, 80% of the time, just based off the reading and the knowledge and the, history tends to repeat itself. Sometimes it's meant to be broken history, but a lot of times in sports, you got to go deep with the weather, who do you have at kicker? Like, what's the record in a morning game to an afternoon game? Or if they travel from the East Coast to the West Coast, how good are they from Sunday to Thursday night? Do they play good with short rest? I mean, there's a lot of like factors that you have to go in to be good at it, but if you can master that, you can actually start winning money, and, I can help you win your league. So I got you, man. No problem. Matthew Sanchez, Green Mobster, Nick Bosa beat Joe Staley 4 times today at camp for sacks. 49ers have $123 million in guaranteed money on the D-line. They are going to feast this season. I love Bosa. The only problem is that if he only plays 12 games, that's going to suck. But on the bright side, if he only plays 12 games, guess what? He'll probably have fucking 10 sacks. That's how good he is. I really like the upside of the San Francisco 49ers. That was my team growing up as a kid. Love them. They have a lot of potential, a lot of upside. Don't sleep on the 49ers. Could be one of the sleeper teams this season. I don't know if they can make the playoffs this season because of Jimmy G's knee. Usually it's year 2 after an ACL tear, really where you start picking things up. When you come back after that first year, he'll be a little tentative, a little worried. Planting will be, one of those things that he'll be extra cautious. But with guys like Kittle, Pettis obviously has started to emerge a little bit at the wide receiver position from UW. You have a few people there, that can make plays. Kittle obviously was the big emergence last year with all those yards and everything. So the defense, though, is starting to get better. But I believe in Kyle Shanahan. To me, he's a top 5 coach in the NFL. He may have not gotten the wins just yet, but him and John Lynch as a pair, they're going to do big things. Kyle Shanahan got the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they didn't win it, but he's a genius, just like Sean McVay for the Los Angeles Rams. 2 of the youngest, brightest minds that are in the NFL, and they're in the same division, which is ironic, but I'm excited to see them moving forward. Barring injury, of course. Tube FN, yeah. Let's see what he said. I would like you to start talking about wrestling on a different channel or even the same. I'll probably do it on this one. I mean, I could do Northwest Wrestling Fanatics. right? Northwest Wrestling Fanatics. I got two friends that are just as hardcore as me with wrestling. One guy's name's Preston, and then the guy, Justin Graves, the guy I'm going to the Denver Broncos Seattle Seahawks game, is one of those guys, but he's kind of shy. He works with me on the phones for Verizon Business, and then my other buddy, he works at another center, a huge wrestling guy, but he's got a lot of obligations. He's a DJ. Wicca, he does the little DJing thing. So he's got a lot of other things that are, tying up his time. But yeah, I mean, at some point, depending on how big the channel gets, I might go live. I might get the network and then just go live for NXT takeovers or WrestleMania or SummerSlam and just go live. I think it'd be fun. I mean, not everyone's a wrestling fan, but I can add that to the repertoire, to the channel. You know what I mean? Something I love too. So let's see here. Damon, I expected a grand entrance, Orion. Shaking my head. Damon! Fly, Eagles, fly. One of my favorite Eagles and Northwest Sports Fanatics, period. Pacquiao! Hopefully that's better for you. Tube FN, I have bad news. Vince sort of said they won't come back to the Attitude Era. Yeah, I know, I was reading that. But once AEW starts fucking killing the ratings, they're going to have to make a change, or he'll have to get all his money and buy them out, or try to, but they'll say fuck you, and they won't. Because Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, is backing AEW. So they'll be around for a long time. They're not going to go anywhere like the football league that we had a couple months ago. Don't get a kicker in the 6th round like I did the first time. Yes, don't get a kicker. Kickers you're going to want to get late. 10th round, 11th, 12th. You know what I mean? Look for a guy like Justin Tucker, Goskowski, Legatron from the Rams. He gets hurt a little bit, but Justin Tucker is pretty consistent, so you're going to want to find a guy. And defenses are important too, because defenses can get you a lot of points, so you don't want to go too early for a defense, but you also don't want to go too late. If you can get an elite top 5 defense, I mean, it's going to make a big difference. Like, even though the Chicago Bears lost Amos, right, and Vic Fangio, right, they're still going to be pretty good, and they'll have a lot of point opportunities, but you just don't want to try to go too soon. So, but that's a good point. Let's see here. Going down the list. I scrolled down and then it just went way, way back up too high. So I got Damon's intro. That wasn't exactly what you wanted because I'm still behind in the comments. I apologize, but fly, Eagles, fly. So bad it hurts Zach Ertz and Damon. Oh, Damon, you're the man. Thank you so much, man. I got you, man. You are so consistent with the donation, so that's why I know you love me and you love the channel. Appreciate you so much, and I appreciate Eagles fans. They sometimes get a bad rap, but the best fan bases on the channel, for the most part, that have the most fan bases on this channel, are Eagles and Saints. I mean, there's a lot of other fans of other teams, but a lot of Eagles and a lot of Saints fans, and then I respect the hell out of both teams, even being a Bucks fan. Lots of talent, lots of history. I pull for both of them all the time, and I have to. No one else will. Everyone just loves to talk shit, and just I gotta straighten people out, and let them know what's up. Bill Romanowski, I had Brett Favre when he was playing for the Jets on my fantasy team for the first year. Maurice Jones-Drew was a top pick back then. Wow, Bill Romanowski, that's crazy. Shows you how far football has gone, right? I'm not Pierce. Josh Allen for the Bills might get a 9 or 10 wins. It's possible. John Roberts isn't here as a big Bills Mafia guy, and I'm going to go over my list of my quarterbacks here, but I just wanted to kind of get caught up with the comments. Let's see here. So yeah, Sanchez, I got you, bro. Anything you need, I'll give you the help, everything that you need, because like I said, if you draft wrong, you're fucked. You really need to be able to, stack up running backs, stack up wide receivers, and you'll see in the comments, if I say something that's not right, or they have another opinion, you can look in the comment section, and some of these guys that are in the chat, these guys play fantasy football too. We're all sport fanatics. Some are going to be a little smarter than others, but if you're a Panthers guy and you have a top 4 pick and you get Run CMC, that's where you're going to want to go with the first pick. That's absolutely one of the things that you're going to want to do. Damon, gotta tell you, you say my last name wrong, I know. P Aqua Dio. Thank you. I knew I was going to have you, correct me at some point. You're going to have to keep that up there all the time, though. Damon, P Aqua Dio. I know. I always say Pia Quadio, or I always fuck it up, but it's one of those names. So my name's Orion Mikulek, right? And so all my people growing up would be like Orion, McHugh, like they never would say my name right or wrong, period. Oh, TJ, dude, you're the man. Eagles fans like you, even though your best friend is a Redskins fan. Yeah, I appreciate that. Eagles fans and Saints fans are some of the best. And dude, thank you so much, dude. Like you're insane, dude. Like, thank you so much, dude. $14.99. Are you kidding me, dude? Your first and second donation, Damon. P. Aqua Dio, baby. Gosh, you guys are just the best fans ever. I'm going to work so hard for you guys, man. You have no idea. I'm going to help everyone that I can. And if you notice, I take my time to go through all the comments and call everybody out because that shit is important to me. It doesn't matter if you donate $1 or you're, someone like TJ or Damon that, shows so much love and do that. Even guys that show up all the time. I don't leave anybody behind. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that when we get bigger, bigger and, more well known. So Matthew Sanchez, I got you. I'm going to my very first Carolina game when they face the Rams in week 1. You are? That is awesome. Dude, the one thing that I'm going to tell you, if you're going to your first game, regardless of where you're sitting, right, buy something there at the stadium. Get like a program, a beanie, buy something there, a beanie, or I'll buy like a hoodie, you know what I mean? Just to make sure that memory. And I always try to go for foul balls. And last year I was really lucky. I went to Dodgers and the Mariners with my dad for a 2-game set back to back. First game, I had a ball go underneath me. Robinson Cano threw it up and it went one seat next to me and I reached for it and I didn't get it. And then the next day, a guy in front of me had a mitt, and he dropped it twice, and I got the ball, and I got bloody knees for it because he ran me from behind trying to get me to drop it, and my knees were all on the pavement on the steps. But, even with bloody knees for 9 innings, getting that foul ball was one of the best days of my life. And obviously going to a Carolina Panther game, I mean, the only way you're going to get a ball is if you're sitting front row in the end zone, which is very tough to do with Cam Newton, but I guarantee you're going to absolutely love it. NFL games are just so much fun. If I get to a point where I have enough money and I can travel the country and just interview people and just go to games, I mean, that's what I want to do. Andre Santana, nice job, boys. Congrats from Brazil. Who dat? Oh, my God, for real? You're from Brazil? That is sick. I love it when we get people from all over the world. TJ, Eagles fans like you, even though your best friend's a Redskins fan, with double donation. $40 in the donation already. Man, you're making everybody look bad with your donations, but I absolutely love it. That shows so much love. I'm almost like forever indebted to you, man, like to show that much love. You know what I mean? That means a lot to me. Like, you have no idea. Dominic Sermeno. I got to go back here. Damon P. Aqua Dio. All right, see, I got it right. He's gonna have to put that up like every video. I'm gonna have to write it down. Actually, I'm probably gonna do that before the video's over. I'm gonna write it down so that way every time Damon goes in to the chat that I don't get it wrong, because I hate saying people's names wrong. It's not like I do it on purpose. Dominic Sermano, gotta say, really appreciate you guys consistently showing love for Jared Goff. Jared Goff in the Goffense, definitely. How is underrated. He is underrated in everyone's ratings. Keep in mind how old he is relative to other starting QBs. Agreed. Him and Carson Wentz will always be linked together. They'll always be, kind of in the category, well, at some point, I mean, they both went to a Super Bowl already. Carson didn't get a chance to play in it, but he got them to that point with Nick Foles. Goff went last year. It wasn't really his fault that they lost entirely. You know what I mean? It was not having Todd Gurley healthy. If he was healthy, you guys probably would have won that Super Bowl more than likely, even though the New England Patriots are the New England Patriots, right? And Jared Goff in the Goffense, you have to understand, when you had, coaches prior, we won't say his name, right? Because I know you don't want to go backwards, right? But Sean McVay is the reason the Rams are good, right? It's all about coaching and who's in your organization. If you didn't have Sean McVay, you guys wouldn't have the record that you have, and Wade Phillips. It makes a big difference when you have guys that are elite, and leaders, and that they can, tell you something and it doesn't fall on deaf ears. He's still going to continue to get the most out of his guys. Cooper Kupp is going to come back healthy. And I like Henderson, the draft pick. If Gurley's hurt the whole year and he doesn't play ever again, which won't happen, right? Henderson is a guy that you can throw in there and he'll be able to handle the load. I know that's kind of shocking for you to hear. He won't be a Todd Gurley, right? But he'll be a guy that you can plug in there, and I think that, the offensive line is still pretty decent. You got a good wide receiving core. You got Cooks. You got Cooper Kupp. You got Robert Woods. You got plenty of pieces, right? Defense, Aaron Donald. You got plenty of guys on the defense too. You just got to kind of stay pat. You're going to probably win the division by default again, but not having Todd Gurley healthy is going to be a big thing. You know what I mean? Like, he was arguably the best running back in the world for a couple years with Le'Veon Bell. And, if Gurley has like degenerative arthritis or he's got knee issues, it might be like a Brandon Roy issue like here in Portland when we had him. He went Rookie of the Year, All-Star game, and then boom, and then went to Minnesota, and then his career was over. You know what I mean? I hope that doesn't happen for Gurley because he's fun to watch and he's good for fantasy too. But, we're going to have to wait and see. Damon P. Aquadio. See, I got it. I didn't even look at your little tag there. Yes, I got it. Third generation Eagles fan. By the way, my dad and my grandfather before me. That is awesome. Damon, if you ever have a chance, like I was mentioning to you before, come to Oregon. The Eagles Nest is here 1 minute from my house. Here in Tualatin or King City, Oregon. It's like literally right down the road. One of these days, I'm going to go Facebook, or not Facebook Live, but YouTube Live, and I'll show you and meet you, and you'll be able to see it, the video of this bar and what it looks like and how loud it gets and how all these Eagles fans are in there. It's like packed with like 100 Eagles fans, some of them that are from Philly. And they travel from Washington. They travel from very far away just to go and meet and kind of have that club. And then they do drawings after every quarter. They put in like $5, and then there's this older Eagles guy that's like 90, and he hits it on there, and then they say, shut up, and then they draw a number 54, and then some Eagles fan will get like a jersey. Like a Pro Bowl jersey of like Westbrook or something. It's like fucking awesome. Like I haven't really seen too many like fan like bars that are like invested in their fan base as much as this, and they're very nice to me too because they know how hardcore I am, when I go out there. But man, if you come out here to Oregon, I'll show you the best Eagles bar, maybe other than being in Philly, and that's big facts. And that's the place where I used to watch a lot of my games, a few years back. The GOAT. Did you see the Lions get Mike Daniels? I did see that. I think they have one of the best D lines in the NFL. They do. Big facts. Their front four is amazing. Every guy on Pro Football Focus was rated an 80 or more, on that front four. So we just have to see if Daniels can come back from the injury. But I really do love the front four for the Lions. That's big facts. You got it right on the head. Let's see here. TJ, damn it, I live in New York. I'm a first-generation Eagles fan. Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if you're third generation, first generation. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm a Seattle Mariner fan because I met Ken Griffey Jr. his rookie year when I was 7 years old. So maybe that's what shaped me as a sports fanatic. I knew I was meeting someone that had greatness written all over him before he took his first swing in the pros. Met his dad. If you actually look over here, let's see, wrong way. Over here. You see that over here? If you see that over here, the top one is me, my dad, and Sandy Koufax, who's the best pitcher lefty arguably in Major League history for the Dodgers. That's my dad's hero. And then here is my dad, me, and Ken Griffey Jr. And then the bottom one right there is me and Ken Griffey Sr. So I'm 7-7, and the top one I'm 10. So it changed my whole life. You know what I mean? When you meet someone that's like that, arguably the best hitter lefty to ever live that didn't do steroids, and Ken Griffey Jr., and the best lefty pitcher arguably in sports from the Los Angeles Dodgers and Sandy Koufax, it changes you forever. You know what I mean? And it made me the fan that I am. I'm going to actually go visit my dad since he had the stroke tomorrow, and we're going to watch the Dodgers versus the Nationals. Check this out. Walker Buehler versus Steven Strasburg. Fuck, I can't wait. The game is on 10:30 at TBS, so I won't be able to do a stream in the morning more than likely unless I do it really early, or maybe I'll put out a video for you guys early in the morning before I go. But after I get back, after I visit him, I'm going to be on the grind, and I'll be able to do some more videos for you guys. But I'm super excited to spend time with him, just based on what happened to him. So New York, New York City. What up, Brody? Mr. Nguyen, what up, do, baby? Mr. Nguyen, the Saints fan. Now then, Saints. Damon P. Aqua Dio. McVay was a Gruden disciple also. McVay, it's funny. Marcus was so pissed that McVay, they let him go from the Washington organization. Could you imagine if they just would have fired Jay Gruden and had McVay? Probably should have did that, you know what I mean? But maybe sometimes people don't realize how great someone is unless they actually get a chance. I feel like the Northwest Sports Fanatics too. We're like the most slept on free agents on YouTube. Someone's going to call. ESPN, Fox Sports. Don't think I'll answer that call though, because they're going to try to change me or Marcus and what we can say and what we can't say. I'd rather do it here with you guys. And that's big facts. Cam Jordan, number 41. Let's go. 6 Inc. What's up, my guy? Mr. Nguyen, that Michael Thomas video was awesome, bro. Keep it up. Thanks, man. You saw my grind today. I put out like 5 today. I was just in the mode. I was like, you know what? I woke up feeling good. Met up with my Chargers buddy yesterday, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go after it. And I just went Michael Thomas, and then I just kept going after it. Patrick Mahomes. Then I went, who did I go after that? I know I did a Zeke one. I did a Melvin Gordon one. I was just going after it, man. I just wanted to make sure I got enough out there. Saquon Barkley, I did that one. So I think I did 5 videos today, right? And this. I'm dedicated to you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for enjoying the Michael Thomas video. I mean, these people that think that he's not a top 3 wide receiver need to fucking quit it already. They don't have any idea. Jimmy G, definitely an underrated quarterback this year. Yeah, well, we don't know what we're getting from him. If it's the Jimmy G that we think we're getting, the Garoppolo effect, they have a good chance to get to, that 9 or 10 wins, but I just don't know how healthy he's going to be. And they may, be like 8-8. And then maybe the following year is the year that they can break out with maybe a couple more free agents, a couple more rookies that can stand out. I don't know if they have the depth to keep up with the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams, I don't think they can really keep up with them, but the Seahawks are a little thin. So if the 49ers overachieve and the Seahawks go down to like 8-8, and then maybe the Niners hit 9-7, I could maybe see something like that. But I think that there might be a year out. I mean, but I do like the 49ers as kind of a sleeper. And that's big facts. Green Mobster. Bill Belichick completely shit on McVay in the Super Bowl. He isn't even on the same planet coaching-wise. Most aren't, though. Well, but if you want to say that, then, most aren't on the same level of Belichick and his cheating ways, too, right? It's like 4th down, a minute left in the game. You're down by 2. You need the play call to come in from your coach. You're in New England. And then all of a sudden you hear, right? You can't hear the play. And then all of a sudden, mysteriously, it goes to Boston radio. I wonder how that happened. It's real easy to win games when you're cheating and you're doing shit that's, questionable. Spygate and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Bill Belichick is a great coach. And a big reason why they're such great coaches and a great organization is not because they demand greatness. That's one thing. But if you have the same system in place and the same quarterback for 19 or 20 fucking years, of course you're winning games. And you've had a top 10 defense with Tom Brady like 14 out of the fucking 19 years. You know what I mean? If you have top 10 fucking defense and a great running game and a great play caller and Josh McDaniels, of course you're fucking winning games, right? But the fact that they cheat to win some of those games, that's what makes people mad. You know what I mean? If they did it just legit, it's cool, but, and I don't think McVay is a horrible coach, to be honest. I think he's one of the best. That's big facts. Not many people can compete with Belichick, and to be honest, big facts here. If McVay had Todd Gurley, they would have beat the brakes off the Patriots. They would have won by at least 10 if Gurley was healthy because he would have scored at least twice. That's my personal opinion. You know what I mean? I think that the Patriots still could have won, but realistically, if Gurley was healthy going into that stretch run at the end of the year, he's been the best running back for the last 2 years, arguably 3. And you're telling me that you don't think that, that they would have been able to compete? I mean, it was really low scoring. Both defenses played great. It was a boring fucking Super Bowl. It should have been the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs, but it was what it was, right? But I don't think Belichick is that much better than all these other coaches. I really don't, You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's like when those guys do steroids, So you're telling me Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and Rafael Palmeiro are better than Ken Griffey Jr.? Fuck out of here. That's not true. Ken Griffey Jr. got fat. He retired and made the fucking Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He did it just his way, not cheating. I respect a guy like that more than someone that cheats. That's big facts. There's a bar in New York City that's the same. Oh, really? That's sweet. Damon P. Aqua Dio. God, I'm like 3 for 3 now. Hell yeah. Chickies and Pete's is the place to go in Philly. The one on Packer Avenue is 10 minutes away from the stadium, and their crab fries and cheese dip are amazing. Good cheesesteaks, too. I had a guy named Zach Hito. He was one of our big Eagles fans the last couple years. His mom got sick, and I haven't heard from him in a while. I hope he's okay. But I sent him a Carson Wentz jersey the year that they went to the Super Bowl, right before the Super Bowl, and told him that they were going to win. They won. He wore it for like 2 weeks straight afterwards. He's like, we're really good buddies. And, at some point, if I can come out there, I heard the food is fire. And he actually sent me cheesesteaks, like airmail, from some of the famous places in Philly, just for, sending him the jersey. That's love. You know what I mean? He didn't have to do that. But then you could say, oh, I didn't have to send him the Carson Wentz jersey, even though he had a ripped up, Randall Cunningham, Eagles jersey. But he was such a good fan. He posted like every fucking video, like a paragraph, every video. He was always, talking to me, emailing me, you know what I mean? And I wanted to do something special for him. He was a little older of a guy too, in his like 40s or 50s, like a manager, at like some construction place. But I know I made his year, and then I gave him that extra good luck charm, and they fucking won the Super Bowl. And I was thinking about him the whole time too. It was awesome. Let's see here. I really hope Greg Olsen stays healthy this year. Cam really needs a tight end to stay healthy. That's true. Matthew Sanchez, you definitely need Greg Olsen to stay healthy, but I don't know if he will. That's the problem. He definitely has the injury bug like A.J. Green, who got injured today in camp. Some guys keep getting hurt year after year. They just got brittle bodies, unfortunately. Two-Bet fan, I'm back. I'm better than ever. No pun intended. You know what I'm talking about, baby. I do. Yeah, but I would love to go to Chicky and Pete's, but I have a friend who is a Giants fan, so I don't think he's welcome. I know. When the Dallas Cowboy fans try to come in, not so much Redskins or Giants, but when Cowboy fans come into that Eagle bar, yeah, they're not welcome. So, I mean, they definitely get razzed, and they usually don't come back. So, I mean, if it's 100 hardcore Eagles people, and a lot of them have been fans for 10 years or more, some like 50 years, 60 years, it definitely can get a little rowdy in there. Matthew Sanchez, yes, Christian McCaffrey is ranked to 42 in the top 100. Yeah, he's the shit, man. And he's going to keep getting better and better. He'll just get booed, yeah, for real. Deservedly so. Customers that wanted to look at a Raptor, and bitch, you don't look at a Raptor, you buy one. I know this is crazy thought, but you should. But should the Cowboys consider trading Zeke and focusing on a Dak contract? Crazy talk, I know. Green Mobster, absolutely not. Zeke is one of the top 4 running backs in the league. Arguably, he's one of the best pass catchers already. He can get you 60, 70, 80, 90 receptions. He's the heart and soul of the roster. You can't let him go. Amari Cooper, you can let him go. As great as I'm a defensive guy first, so let's keep that in mind, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, you had Sean Lee, you had Leighton Vander Esch, you got Byron Jones, Jalen Smith. You know what I mean? You got plenty of defensive guys. I would sacrifice one of the defensive guys before Zeke. Zeke is more important, than a lot of these other guys, but like Dak's contract, you have to get that, squared away. But I saw an interesting stat, is that when he's in the red zone, his percentage is like 31 out of 32 quarterbacks in the red zone as far as like accuracy. So, I mean, but he does fit the team, with using his legs and he, helping them get the most out of the Cowboys roster. I'm going to go into my top 5 and honorable mention of underrated quarterbacks, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's crazy. I would definitely not trade Zeke under any fucking circumstance until fucking Jerry Jones has stopped sitting on his fucking $1 billion toilet, fucking start shitting out some of that money that he's got and start paying the fucking players. You're not going to beat the Eagles this season, right? So just pay the fucking money already and get your guys taken care of. Get him in camp. Same thing for Melvin Gordon. Get that fucker in camp. He's awesome. I love fucking Melvin Gordon, right? You're not going to go to the AFC Championship game without fucking Melvin Gordon. Chiefs, Colts, New England, they're right there. Who knows what Big Ben's gonna do, or the the Ravens, or any of the other sleeper teams like the Browns. You got to get your guys in camp if you want a chance this season. That's big facts. Let's see. Zeke leaves that offense, they decline huge. Definitely. When Zeke is there with Dak, great. When he's not, they're not very good. Could you react to an Amari Cooper highlight with the Cowboys? Yes, I will do that for you at some point, I promise. I think Drew Brees is going to be in the top 5 in the top 100 list. Could be number 1. We'll have to see. I never said McVay was a bad coach, Green Mopsa says. Injuries happen to all teams. I do think that we'll game plan better for the Rams this season. That's why they played the games, though. Right, but also, too, remember, we're not just talking about, like, an okay running back, right? We're not talking about, like, an average running back. We're talking about the best motherfucking running back in the league for the last couple years. You know what I mean? Healthy Todd Gurley. Makes a fucking difference. You know what I mean? A lot of guys don't have Todd Gurley's on their team, so they don't understand. Yeah, you can't just rely on your running back. Yeah, you can't. Now, I would say top 20 based on the stats gradually declining. Number 1 is going to be Pat Mahomes. Who else could it be? I've never tried a cheesesteak before, bro. We might have to be on friendship probation after that comment. Matthew Sanchez, you've never tried a cheesesteak before? Not even you're probably a little bit younger. I don't know how old you are. But if you go to any bar or any restaurant, I mean, depending on where it's at, you got to try one. They're fire. So good. Let's see here. Mr. Nguyen, that's Devin White, LSU jersey on the LSU website, bro. Oh, fucking A, Mr. Nguyen. You come up big, my guy. Is it authentic? It looks like it is. LSU Tigers, teamshop.com, men's Nike, Devin White. Oh, dude, fuck yeah. I'll have to try to copy that link and look at that. I don't know how much it costs. You can type it below. But as long as it's Nike and it's authentic, I might get that. I saw there's an authentic one that I can make custom. It's like $250 or $300. Kind of spendy, but if I'm going to get one, it's going to be Devin White this season. But unless I want to get the screen print, but those authentic ones are fucking sick. Maybe I should get you some Bucks gear. Man, I mean, if you guys can find some in your area, out here, they don't got shit for Bucks gear. The one thing I want for Bucks gear, I'd really love Devin White stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to get as much as I can. The red home jersey, the white, if I have to get screen print jerseys and, the expensive sewn one, I mean, he's the one that I'd buy. I'm already a defensive guy, a linebacker guy. I already have a Levante David White one, but Devin White is something that I'm looking at. And then obviously I have Derek Brooks. I have a Doug Williams creamsicle one. I have about 10 Bucks jerseys. I even have embarrassing ones. Do you want me to tell you guys some of my embarrassing ones I have? I have a stitched. So that means I spent, more than $100 on it, which is sad. Josh fucking Freeman. Damn. Do I still get any credibility? I mean, obviously, it is what it is. I got a Doug Martin red sewn one. I mean, I'm a fan. I got Keyshawn Johnson, Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp. I got quite a few. You know what I mean? But that Josh Freeman one, though, I mean, I could use that for toilet paper. You know what I mean? But it's sewn, so I can't really get rid of it, I guess. I could give it away to Goodwill, but I don't know. I'm a big fan, so I just, it is what it is. I mean, when he started in the beginning, it looked like he could maybe be the guy and play for me for a couple years, but then it kind of went down the shitter. But, I mean, if you're a fan, what can you do? Sometimes you can't predict on how good guys are going to be with you, and you have shitty coaching, and then sometimes it just derails and falls apart. Dominic Sermeno, I think if Kupp was healthy, then passing game would have made defended, leaving space for the run game to get going. Having both injured was tough. Yeah, it was. Cooper Kupp was best friend. Obviously, of Mr. Goff and the Goffense, they needed him, and that was a big loss for them. But they had other guys step up, and Cooks and Woods, they had great seasons. So I bring that up because I was on a sports radio station this morning. They gave that scenario. Oh, okay. Damon P. Aqua Dio. I should get you some throwback Bucks gear, actually. That would be dope. John Lynch, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott. Mike Allstott is going to be one of the ones I get. Rondé Barber. I already have Simeon, and I already Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp, but I think next one is John Lynch, Bucks, and probably Rondé Barber, and then Allstott, just to get some of the old ones. Loved fucking A-Train. Allstott was amazing. Let's see. How are you American and never had a cheesesteak? Tell him, TJ. Fucking A, man. I've had so many. Friendship probation. That might be like a $9.99 fine or something until you eat one, and then we can get back on to good terms. Oh, man. John Roberts, do you think Frank Gore will take Barry Sanders' total yards position? Frank Gore is one of those guys that's very underrated. First ballot Hall of Famer. People don't realize how many yards that he's accumulated in his career when he was on the 49ers. Look that shit up. It's amazing. We'll have to see. You know what I mean? You guys are really stacked at the running back position. You got Shady McCoy, you got Frank Gore, you got TJ Yeldon, you got the rookie. I mean, you guys got a lot of depth there. Elliot Evans, what up, homie? What is good? Nolan Saints, what's good? My Frotho 704, Curtis Samuel about to go off. He's a plug and play kind of guy. Curtis Samuel isn't going to just be someone that just wows you like a Tyreek the Freak Hill kind of season. But he's a guy that can get you a reverse. He can get you a nice little screen pass, and take it, 5-10 yards and get you a TD. I want to see his progression with Cam in the shoulder. We're going to have to see how it goes. But Run CMC is really going to show out. But Burns, right, the defensive player from Florida State, that's who you need to be really looking out for. Brian Burns, that guy is going to be a stud. I've watched a lot of tape on him. I like him. So Matthew Sanchez, I'm not sure if you like collecting offensive jerseys or defense, but Run CMC, right? Luke Kuechly, this Burns kid from Florida State, watch him. He might end up being one of your favorite players, I'm telling you. No, it's a limited college jersey. Okay, Mr. Nguyen. Do you think Todd's injury a career hindering? I do. I read a thing that there is an inside source that the Rams regret giving him that contract, only a rumor. I think they do, and I think it's serious because that's why they picked, the third rounder out of Henderson? You would not pick that player at that position in the draft when you have so many other needs unless you thought that it's fucked. You know what I mean? I think that he's fucked, to be honest, and I hope he's not, but I don't think his knee will ever be the same. It sucks. Right? Curtis Samuel is going to be explosive this year with the Panthers. I hope so. He's got a lot of upside. You know what I mean? But, DJ Moore has probably got more upside than Samuel. Big facts. Also, my brother is a Bucks fan. Really? I love watching Warrick Dunn back in the day. Me too. I love fucking Warrick Dunn. And then they let him go to Atlanta. You know what I mean? Or, Atlanta, and then Tampa, Atlanta. You know what I mean? I still liked watching him wherever he was at. But then when it was Warrick Dunn in Allstott, fuck, that was nice. That was fun for me. For real. Also, more Sanchez, DJ Moore, too. Do you think the Texans will trade Clowney? They should have already did it if they weren't going to get him signed. Like I said, J.J. Watt and the rest of that deep, team, they have some talent, but the offensive line is just bootios, just straight New Day bootios, like the biggest box of bootios that you can get. He's going to be running for his life. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what kind of compensation are you going to get for him? Because, with him being such a talented player, if you get anything like third round or lower, you're losing value. And they're probably not going to give you that at this point. You're probably going to get like fourth round and some other bullshit or whatever. So they got to get him. They got to get him in there. Otherwise, they're just going to get shit in return, and he's going to go somewhere else. DJ Moore is going to have a really great second year with the Panthers. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm going to root for the Jaguars this year. Nick Foles, I am too. I'm going to get into my list here pretty soon, too, because I know some of the people wanted to hear. I think I'm already getting caught up in the comments fucking finally. I have a Frank Gore Niners jersey. He's one of my favorite players. Awesome. I have a lot of friends that are Frank Gore guys. No matter where he's played at, in his career. It doesn't matter if it's been on the Niners or somewhere else or at the U, right? Hopefully Wentz doesn't get hurt again. He won't. And one's a Bucks fan, one's a Giants fan, one's a Pats fan, and the others are Dolphins fan. Oh, that's awesome. A lot of variety. Hey, man, I have an old Buck jersey that I had when I was little. Me and my dad went to a Buccaneers versus Cowboys game. I have an old Derek Brooks jersey. You do? That's sweet. I have a sewn Derek Brooks jersey, and that's my favorite because he's my favorite player. I'm caught up now, so now I'm going to get in my list. All right, Northwest Sports Fanatics, NFL top 5 most underrated quarterbacks going into the 2019 season for y'all. Are you guys ready? Honorable mention, first one and the only one for now, Dak Prescott. Gets a lot of flack, right? He's not very good in the red zone, right? But he is a little underrated. I mean, I don't know how many teams he'd be able to be successful in with the system, but with the Cowboys, right? He's a good fit. 3,885 yards, more than people expect. 22 TDs, right? Only 8 picks. For Dak Prescott, he should have like 15 picks. Let's be real. But he finds a way to use his legs, and that takes away some of the shitty throws that he probably would throw. But as far as it going into the red zone, not very good. You know what I mean? He doesn't make very good decisions in the red zone. But for that team, Dak, Zeke, right? And then Cooper, Gallup, and some of the other weapons. The O-line, amazing. Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith. They got the pieces, right? Defense is better, though. The defense is what impresses me. Leighton Vander Esch, he's a shit. Jalen Smith, he's a shit. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's a shit. Byron Jones, pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? Sean Lee, when he's healthy, pretty fucking good. So they got some guys. But, that's why their defense was top 10 last year. They're pretty solid. But that's my honorable mention. Quarterback going into 2019, gets the shit talked about him all the time, Dak Prescott. But I still think the Cowboys have a great chance making the wild card this year. That's big facts. I think that they'll just need to get these guys signed so it's not a distraction. But they have a deep enough team to get 10 wins. If they overachieve, 11 at the most. But I think 10 is kind of where they cap out at, around that. And then the worst case scenario for a team like that is probably going to be 8-8 because they have so much talent on the roster. All right, so let's get into the top 5. My top 5 most underrated quarterbacks going in 2019. Number 5, I have a guy that has a movie story, right? You know that if this guy wins anything else, anywhere else, there's going to be a movie made about the guy. He's a journeyman, right? His starting quarterback got injured. When he went to the Super Bowl, no one really thought that he was going to win, except for maybe Eagles fans and me. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Nick motherfucking Foles, Slick Nick, right? On the Jaguars now. We don't know what we're going to get out of him, but I'm going to root for him. 1,413 yards last season, 7 TDs, 4 picks. Leonard Fournette, will he be good again? I don't know. The offensive weapons are a little thin. True. Defense is dominant. Calais Campbell, Bouye, Jalen Ramsey, right? Miles Jack, Josh Allen, the linebacker. You got pieces, so they're going to need to rely on those defensive pieces to be able to get the wins. But Nick Foles could prove someone wrong, right? And he could possibly get that team to a wild card or maybe win the division. I mean, besides the Titans, the Texans, the Colts, right? And the Jaguars, and probably you could say the Titans, if everyone stays healthy, they all have a legitimate chance to get about 7 or about 9 to 10 wins. But in reality, I think the Colts are going to win the division, right? And then obviously you're going to have to battle for that second spot, which will probably be taken by the Texans or maybe the Jaguars, because I don't think the Titans will be able to do it. Mariota's kind of inconsistent, and then if he fucks up, then you put in Tannehill, and I don't have a whole lot of faith in him either. Number 5, Slick Nick Foles. Number 4 is the guy that needs to learn how to fucking stay in the pocket. He uses his legs too much, but I like his moxie. He's gained about 18 pounds of muscle in training camp. He looks fit. He looks ready to go. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Lamar Jackson on the Ravens. 1,201 yards passing, 6 TDs, 3 picks. He can use his legs. He can obviously, go through his progressions, but he's not very good at it yet. So I'm really excited to see if he's gotten better at it. You're going to have Mark Ingram, right? And you're going to have some pieces there. I want to be able to see how this team runs their offense. I want to be able to see how the team reacts to not having C.J. Mosley anymore. Yeah, you got Earl Thomas III, but the defense is not going to be as good, so you're not going to be relying on that, moving forward. So Lamar Jackson could prove people wrong if they make a wild card. I wouldn't be surprised, but look for Lamar Jackson to take the next step. Will he have more than 6 TDs and 3 picks? Damn right he will. I'm looking for him to have a better year. Number three is a guy that was really good at USC. He could be probably the best quarterback that USC has seen in the last 20 years. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about better than Carson Palmer, Sam Darnold. All right, you got Le'Veon Bell now. You got C.J. Mosley that we were just talking about. You got one of my favorite players at safety in Jamal Adams. Don't fuck with Jamal Adams. That guy is a fucking monster. Sam Darnold, 2,865 yards, 17 TDs, 15 picks. Let's see Sam Darnold get to about 25 touchdowns and about 13 to 17 picks, improve the stat line, and you got a better running back this time around, so you should be able to have more of a balanced offense, and the defense will be better with CJ fucking Mosley and Jamal Adams. I like what they're doing there. They got some upside moving forward. They're going to battle with the Bills for second place in the AFC East, and they might be able to make a wild card. It's possible. Number two is a quarterback that got pretty far. He was a quarterback at North Carolina. The offensive pieces are a little thin. The defense was the best last year, but I think this guy has a lot of upside. I'm talking about Mitchell Trubisky. 3,223 yards, 24 TDs, 12 picks for the Bears, right? But the defense lost Vic Fangio to Denver. You lost Amos to the Packers. So you're going to have to step it up, and you're going to have to score more points. You're going to have to be better than you were last year, and I don't know if he will be, but I think he gets a lot of flack. You don't have a kicker. You should have kept Cody Parkey, even though he made that mistake, with the field goal kicking issues, but getting a guy off the street ain't going to solve it. So we'll have to wait and see. Number 2, Mitchell Trubisky. Now my number 1 underrated quarterback going into the season. Who could it be? Is it Josh Rosen? No, it's not motherfucking Josh Rosen. He sucks. And we're talking about number 1, Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. 2,074 yards, 10 TDs, 12 picks. He will have more touchdowns than interceptions this year. Their team is getting better. They have Edmonds at linebacker, stud. Micah Hyde on the back end, Jordan Poyer. You got Ed Oliver, who could be the next Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald up front at the D-tackle position. You got plenty of running backs, Shady McCoy, Frank Gore, TJ Yeldon, formerly of the Jags, a rookie that's in there as well. You got pieces. They're going to be better. They're going to compete. Look for Josh Allen to take the next step. He's got a lot of upside. Go Bills Mafia, John Roberts. And that's my list. So I hope I got you caught up. Now I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see what you guys have to say. So let's go here real quickly. All right, so I'm caught up. Carson for MVP. I think there's a great chance, to be honest. I think they're going to make the NFC Championship game as long as they don't have any significant injuries. I think the Saints and the Eagles have the best chance, in my opinion, to get to the NFC Championship game this year. Big facts. That's the list. Let's see here. Cowboys won't do shit if they don't pay Zeke, but if they pay Zeke, Dak, and Cooper, they are fucked. It's hilarious. Well, we'll see. I mean, you got DeMarcus Lawrence paid, and that was important. So, but Jalen Smith coming around, I mean, they have so much money. Just pay, Randall Cobb will also help for Dak. But he gets injured a lot, you know what I mean? And he wasn't really that much of a threat. Devontae Adams used to be like the 3rd best wide receiver a couple years ago. Now he's probably a top 7 wide receiver in the league. And Devontae Adams with Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know what Cobb's going to do. He might end up, being like Allen Hurns and getting fucked up and getting injured. Like you get a name that was on another team. It sounds great, but I don't have any confidence in Randall Cobb anymore. And that's just big facts. You should do call-ins on these shows, dude. It's easy if you have a Discord. Yeah, I don't have a Discord, but I mean, at some point, maybe I could. That'd be sweet. For context, I'm talking about Dak out in LA. He gets his hype. Mind you, there are a lot of Cowboy fans in LA. Yeah, there's a lot of Dak Cowboy fans everywhere. In Oregon, they're everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place in every part of the country. I mean, the Cowboys have a lot of fucking fans all over the country. A lot of them, though, are old school guys, from the old school days, or maybe from the Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Deion days. That was the glory days. 3 championships in 4 years. I mean, I can respect that team. That team was awesome. But the Cowboy fans now think that they're going to have a team like that. That's not happening ever again. Troy Aikman, Dak is no Troy Aikman, right? Zeke and Emmitt Smith, I mean, 2 amazing running backs. If Zeke is, keeps his pace, he'll be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? But Michael Irvin, they don't got anybody close to Michael Irvin, playmaker. Deion Sanders, they don't got anyone on Deion's level, which there probably never will be, because Deion was arguably the best corner that ever put on fucking cleats ever. I liked him personally when he was on the Niners in '94. That's my favorite Deion. Also when he was on the Falcons when he first came into the league. But John Roberts, I know you like that number one. Because don't you think? I think that, I think Josh Allen is one of those guys. He's got a strong arm, right? A little inaccurate, but you're building the better roster. And McDermott is a pretty fucking good coach, right? So if you get past Miami, who's garbage, and you get past the Jets and the Le'Veon Bell thing, which will be tough, because Jamal Adams and C.J. Mosley are good, but I'm not really sold on Gase at head coach. That's kind of a disaster, right? So the Bills could be the second place team with the Jets for years to come until something happens in New England. It's not going to be Stidham, even though they picked him in the draft from Auburn. That's not going to be the successor to Brady. That might be the backup to the backup, down the road, but we'll see. But I wanted to give you guys the list. Man, I love you guys. You know what I mean? The football season is great. I'm on Total Access here. Who is this? Tom Brady. I've already seen this Tom Brady interview like 5 times a day. That shows you how much I've watched it. But I am excited for my Ducks, obviously coming up. Justin Herbert, Auburn, playing in Cowboy Stadium. I mean, if I had enough fucking money, I would go to that game. But obviously I don't have enough money to do that. But I would love to do that. Being a hardcore fan, because Herbert's one of the best quarterbacks that we've had here since, Mariota and Joey Harrington, and it's exciting out here. Autzen is lit. I'm going to start getting my tickets here pretty soon. I'm going to try to get a couple front row seats like I got last year. I had 2 front row seats on the 20-yard line. I got to see UCLA and Chip coming back to town with the Jordan uniforms, and then I also had front row for Arizona State to see Herm Edwards. That was dope. And I got to see N'Keal Harry, amazing wide receiver on the Patriots now. In person, amazing. He's going to show out for the Patriots. He's fucking good. Let me tell you, seeing him in person, front row, you can't even put a price on that. And then I went to 2 other games where I was 50-yard line. I was 10th row, and then another one, I think I was 6th row. So I love my Ducks, man. Autzen is lit. It's one of the best places to go watch football. But I'm excited for college football. I'll do a college football list. I'll end up doing a list for coaches, top 5 coaches. Fantasy. I'll throw some fantasy videos out there. Mr. Sanchez, you need help. I'll help you out. I got you. And the rest of the people that are in the room, I mean, I just can't believe how generous and how awesome you guys are, with your guys' donations and just you guys are showing love and coming into the room all the time. Eagles fans, Saints fans are some of the best, period. And it's not necessarily just about, the money that they're donating. It's just the love that they show me, and then they've been there from day one, and they've, haven't gone anywhere, and they really, truly, appreciate me and Marcus, and a lot of you guys do from your other teams from all over the country and all over the world. I mean, it's so crazy to me that you guys are so just the way that you are. You guys are sport fanatics, and, I was just hoping, as I did this channel, with Marcus, that, there would be people that would be like me, because when we were on Facebook and did videos, they were just like our friends, but they weren't really like us. They were more just like car guys, or they like to go drink or do drugs or whatever they decided to do. You know what I mean? Like, you have friends that do all kinds of different things. They have different hobbies. You know what I mean? But when you meet guys or girls that are into football, it's a whole nother thing. It's like it's like a clique. You know what I mean? The NWO for life, brother. You know what I mean? It's like, I can be Hollywood Hogan, and Marcus can be, if he wants to be someone, he wants to be Scott Hall or Kevin Nash. You know what I mean? And then we got the rest of y'all, to join the NWO, the Northwest Sports Fanatics, the clique. You know what I mean? Football is amazing. It's one of those things that, Mr. Nguyen, I love you too, man, bro. Don't forget about us when we see you on TV. I'll never forget about you guys, ever, ever. John Roberts, I got to go to the Rose Parade. That was very cool. First football game I ever saw was Alabama, UCLA in the Rose Bowl. Fuck, really? That's awesome. What year was that? What year did you go to that? You ever go to a Super Bowl parade? I was at the Eagles one 2 years ago, and it's the craziest I've ever seen in Philly. I had fans that I kept in touch with, and I watched. Out of all the Super Bowls that I've ever, I've watched all of them, right? But as far as parades, I've seen the Tampa Bay one, right? And the only other one that I watched in full was Philly, because I had so many fans on this channel when we started 2 years ago in our first year that I watched it all the way through. Stayed home from work. I think I called in sick just to watch it, just because how awesome it was, because I knew what it meant for the Eagles fans that were on the channel, and I knew what it meant for their family members that have passed away. I knew what it meant for for Philadelphia and Philadelphia in general. You know what I mean? It's like the whole Rocky, going up the steps, you know what I mean? The underdog. It's just amazing to see that, you know what I mean? I might have gotten a little bit in trouble for, skipping work, but it was probably the best. It was the best parade I think I've seen on TV, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook ever. just the love and the passion, and the cool thing is that a lot of the people were kind of crying and stuff because like their dads or moms or grandpas or uncles have passed away, and they would, put their little, flowers or like Eagle jerseys or like Eagle cups on the graves. That's cool. The only thing I've seen like that is when the Cubs finally won their World Series, and you saw the passion that Chicago had when the Cubs finally won. But at Philly, to me, it was even more because there was such a drought also for that, town for football. It's crazy. Green Mobster, I know it's not much, but you are some of the best. I may not always be in the chat, but I do watch every video. And Green Mobster, thank you so much for a $5 donation. Dude, you are fucking awesome. I know sometimes, depending on what you guys do for work or how much extra money you have, sometimes you don't have money to donate. And it's not like I'm going to, play favoritism to someone that, donates or doesn't. But just the fact that you're in the room all the time, you talk to me, you're donating, share it with a friend, smash the fucking like button, share our fucking videos, spread the word. And like I said, I appreciate you guys being so fucking generous. It's fucking great, dude. I appreciate it so much. So, let's see. Jason Kelsey's speech was perfect. Couldn't even hear most of it live because everyone was screaming over him. You know what's funny that you bring that up? Because that shit was so lit. I told Marcus we're going to do a fucking reaction video to that, and he was skeptical. And I said, guess what? We're going to do this fucking video, and we're going to get over fucking 10,000 people to watch this shit, and they're going to fucking love it. And guess what? We did the video, and I think it hit like 13 to 15,000 within the first like few days. And he was surprised. I wasn't. Because I think I have a little connection. I mean, he's a Redskin fan, so obviously there's a little competition there with the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Giants. I get it. But since I'm not biased on that end, you know what I mean? I knew what it meant, and it was awesome. One of the coolest speeches, and then the gear that he was wearing. There's a certain name for it. You can comment below and let me know what the suit that he was wearing. And that whole celebration and just how lit everything was, you know what I mean? That probably was the best speech I think I've ever seen. The only thing that motivated me maybe even more is like when I see Drew Brees, do those pregame speeches in the little huddle. But yeah, I fucking love that shit. That shit was awesome. And like I said, I watched that shit fucking live. And I'm a Buccaneer fan. So you see like how it's like, it's not just Eagles people. Like it touched me as a Bucks fan just because I knew how much that fucking shit meant, for Philly and Philadelphia, It's one thing with the Sixers, if they win a championship from the past, you know what I mean? You got the Flyers, you know what I mean? You have, the Phillies with Ryan Howard getting over the hump. Now you got Bryce Harper, but the Eagles, something about football in Philly, Randall Cunningham, Jerome fucking Brown, you know what I mean? I know this shit, you know what I mean? I've been here, long fucking time. I know, you know what I mean? I know the players. I know what it's about. Jerome Brown was one of my favorites back in the day. Not a lot of people know who the fuck that is, but I do, Reggie White, one of the greatest to ever play, Shit gonna make you run through the wall for him. Oh, man, you got to react to Drew Brees' pregame speech. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously. And you know what I mean? Like, if you don't get motivated, and the cool thing is that when he talks, everybody fucking listens. It doesn't matter what age, what race, white, black, mixed race, old vet, 35 years old, or rookie, 19. They are so fucking in tune to what he has to say. He's earned that respect. And they go out there like they're going to fucking war, like literal war, you know what I mean, in every game. And it's not like on deaf ears or he's just like rah-rah. Like, come on, guys, rah-rah. It's not like that. Like, it's literally from his heart. It's like the passion that I try to give you guys, he gives that to his players. And you can tell when it's honest and it's real and it's always genuine. And I love that about him. People take the NFL serious in Philly. It's awesome. Yeah, they do. I mean, the only, TJ, we're all Northwest Sports Fanatics, but we still love our teams. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why I wanted to create, this channel with Marcus. And when I had to sell my Michael Jordan rookie card, how painful that was for me being a collector. But knowing that, being able to connect with guys like you, girls, fans, hardcore fans, you know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. And I know I'll be able to get that back. You know what I mean? But, it was tough. But sport fans in general, it teaches you a lot about life, friendships, the grind. Sometimes things aren't easy. Heartache, depression, sadness, joy, happiness. When you come, overcome and you get over the hump, you know what I mean? And that's why I think with the Eagles, they had that, where they, lost and lost and lost, and then they, with obviously with the, Andy Reid era, that was tough. You know what I mean? You went like NFC championship games, like 4 or 5, and then you went to one Super Bowl, and T.O. was injured, and he tried to get you the ring. He tried everything in his power. McNabb was thrown up in the huddle towards the end. I mean, he was trying, but you played the goddamn New England Cheatriots. You know what I mean? They fucking cheated and they won, more than likely. I mean, you had a great team back then, but it made it even sweeter, right, when you guys won it with the whole way that you won it. Carson Wentz, right? He goes down with the injury. No one thinks that Nick Foles can do it. I did. Eagles fans did. You know what I mean? You had the best collective 4 horsemen running back. Your O-line was better. Your D-line was better. And I knew you guys could do it. And you guys had to play smart football, not turn the fucking ball over. Derek Barnett was going to make plays with Fletcher Cox. They did, right? Philly. The rest is fucking history. I love that shit. And I think with the Saints, they're going to be able to have this type of thing happen for them too. Eagles had their time with that, not saying that they can't do it this year, but to lose in the Minneapolis Miracle, the bullshit non-pass interference call with the Rams, Breeze's time is running out. And you got Kamara and Michael Thomas and, Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore. You got plenty of pieces. They're going to be hungry. The Eagles and the Eagles with Carson Wentz is going to be hungry too. These are going to be the 2 hungriest teams in the NFC trying to get this fucking Lombardi, Got to go, guys. I have to go to early football practice tomorrow. Best channel here. Subscribe to this channel. Keep pounding. Panther Nation respected you and Marcus for making the best video. Thank you, Matthew Sanchez. And if you need any fantasy help, I'll help. You email me. You hit me on Twitter. You message me here. I'll do whatever it takes to help you win your league. Mr. Nguyen, do you think the Browns are going to make the playoffs this season? That's a good question. Because it's not something that I can just answer so quickly, because I see, like I said, 3 scenarios. Overachieve, 11-5, win the division, right? Do better than expected, maybe 10-6 and get a wild card, right? Or, you implode and Kitchens, can't control the team and the egos with, Landry getting mad and Odell getting mad if they don't get the ball enough. Baker maybe, not playing as good as, he wants. The defense getting banged up with, Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward. You got to think that they've been just a kind of a losing tradition, but it looks like they're starting to turn it around. The thing is with the Ravens, they've lost a lot of pieces. So if they were going to leapfrog anybody, the Bengals are last. That's no question. And then I think the Ravens have a chance to go backwards a little bit, maybe 3rd in the division, just because of the pieces they lost. And the Browns could get 2nd, but they're going to have to play really solid football. Otherwise, they're going to end up being like 7-9 and 8-8. You know what I mean? So it just depends, because I'm not really sold on their defense, and I'm not sold on Kitchens, the head coach. Do I like Chubb at running back? Yes, I think he's going to break out. Odell and Jarvis, those are nice pieces, right? Njoku at tight end, up and coming, right? Baker, I like him a lot. Lots of swag, horns down, right? But if you don't have a good coach, your O-line is shaky, and your defense isn't there yet, you may not be able to win that division. Pittsburgh, I think, to me, might be still the front runner to win the division. I know that might be crazy, but James Conner and Le'Veon Bell, there wasn't that much of a drop-off. Juju, I have the utmost respect for. AB's gone. Juju will be fine, right? They have pieces there, and they got a guy that I really love on defense, Devin fucking Bush, right, from Michigan. He's the Ryan Shazier replacement. Watch him this year. If the Pittsburgh Steelers with Big Ben, they win the division with like 10 wins, 11, it's going to be because of Devin Bush, a big part of it. And obviously Big Ben and Connor and Juju, They have other pieces there too, but I'm not sure. You know what I mean? If I had to say if they were going to make the playoffs or not, God, I'm kind of leaning towards more no, but maybe next year, the following year. But they could surprise people because everyone's hyping them like they're already going to go to the fucking Super Bowl, and I'm not on that train yet. You got to prove it. You can't just be sexy on paper. You know what I mean? You got to go out there and fucking get it, Thank you so much, TJ, for another donation. You are the fucking man, period. Big facts. NFL Top 100, disrespectful. I had Matt Ryan at 69. Yeah, he dropped a lot of spots. And he had a quiet MVP season, but everyone got hurt. He almost had 5,000 yards, I believe. Pretty good stat line. But this year they drafted 2 offensive linemen, right? Really good ones. Devontae Freeman should be back. Calvin Ridley will probably score more touchdowns than Julio again, right? You got Sanu. Your pieces look good on offense. I like that team. Could be a sleeper, And then if you get Deion Jones back and, get Keanu Neal back on the back end, Vic Beasley, do something, they could win 10 games. I mean, it's not that crazy to think. They're going to be competing with the Panthers, probably for that second spot in the NFC South. But I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they need everyone to be healthy because if they start getting banged up again, they're fucked. John Roberts, it's the Bills' turn now. Brady's going down. You're welcome, the rest of the league. Thanks, John. I've been waiting for you to all this time. Buffalo Bills. It's about time. Let's see here. Let's see here. Six Ink Sniffs. Okay, seriously, who the hell is cutting onions in here? 5 championships, 0 rings. Patriots definitely cheated. Doug Peterson said that he used to different signals in the Super Bowl than he did in practice because he thought the Pats were cheating again. I would too. You know what I mean? But I knew that they were going to win that game. I really did. And for me to say it, like, is my reputation on the line, saying it. And I wasn't just saying it because of the Eagles fans. Like, I truly did believe that. I had friends asking me, like, seriously, bro, this is Super Bowl. If you don't get this right and I pick your bet, I'm fucked. Like, because these guys will bet, like, not $5. They're betting in, like, the hundreds. And I told them just, like, I'm not right all the time, but based off all the research and all the games that I watched, I feel as around, like, that 80-85% chance that I'm going to get the fucking shit right. And I did. And, they took care of me. I got jackets and jerseys and shit in return and stuff, money, but sometimes sports is one of those things that can surprise you and the opposite happens, but sometimes when you do your research and shit works out, because history tends to repeat itself, and sometimes you just have a kind of that ESP. I got that ESP, not the ESPN. I got that ESP, the sports ESP. Nagmaldeen Al-Salde, Lions D-line best in the NFL. Definitely one of the best, adding Mike Daniels. Agreed. What do you think about the Lions? They're still the bottom team, little brother looking up at big brother. But with that addition, that makes them a little bit better. But I need to see Kerryon Johnson take the next step. And I wish Megatron was still playing. But you got Marvin Jones, right, and Kenny Golladay, 2 of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. It's just really up to that defense now, since Ezekiel Ansah's not there anymore. We'll have to see. You got some nice pieces. You had the Glover Quinn thing and, big play Slay, Darius Slay, but you need more, But we'll see. If they make the playoffs, everyone will be surprised. But I see them being kind of like a 5 to 8 win team, somewhere in there. This is my personal opinion. Do you think the Saints, let's see, do you think he's going to sign Theo Riddick? I don't know. I saw that he got released. He could be an asset. He's like a third down option, third down back. You definitely don't want Theo Riddick as a fucking starter. You know what I mean? But if you have Alvin Kamara, right, Latavius Murray, and Theo Riddick, nice little trio, 3 Musketeers. Kind of looks nice. Yeah, screen game going to be crazy with him. Agreed. Still got a little bit left in the tank. He's not on E just yet. Dominic Sermeno. Look, I'm a Rams fan, and even I think that call was bullshit. See? I know, man. Didn't want that to overshadow an otherwise great game, but still, that didn't lose it for the Saints. Plenty of chances to close the deal after that. Yeah, that was true, but that one was significant because that one would have put them, obviously, not only just field goal range, with that penalty, but they would have scored more than likely a touchdown, and then there wouldn't have been any extended play later on. That, yeah, they had other chances to win, when they, got the ball and then they didn't end up getting, the score. But, that just changed the whole momentum and a lot of things that happened with that. They couldn't overcome mentally from it. But overall, the Rams, what are you going to do? You're going to take advantage of that. But sometimes sports karma's a bitch, right? So you ended up unfairly winning the game, but did you win the Super Bowl? Maybe that was sports karma's way of saying, hey, you got one, but you ain't going to get the big one that way. You're not going to win the Super Bowl based off, that asterisk in what happened. So, sometimes, the sports gods, they know, maybe they're looking down and say that wasn't fair, and Todd Gurley being hurt didn't help either. So that's big facts. Lions defense is scary. Why do you have 2 mics? I have 2 mics just because I usually use the one for Marcus, and we have certain adjustments on our audio where if I talk just in the one, it'll be like if you have an earbud, it'll be just in the left ear or in the right ear. And I like talking into 2 mics. It's like 2 chains. So if I'm going to talk into 2, I don't want to, have you guys just listen on the left side or on the right side until I get it all figured out on my end because of the complicated equipment that I have. I have all kinds of equipment here. So that's a sick chain, by the way. Thank you. It's my duck chain. I actually just got it today. I had to represent for the Ducks. Let's see here. Because there's 2 guys, but the other guy has kids. And normally there's 2 of them. Marcus. Yes, there is normally 2 of us, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Real King fan. Drew Brees. Do you think Harry is a 1,000-yard receiver year 1 for the Pats? Good question. Great question. To me, N'Keal Harry could be the sleeper wide receiver out of, like Hollywood Brown, DK Metcalf, and, there's lots of other wide receivers that are out there that people are kind of talking about. But Harry, to me, as far as hands and athleticism, he might be the best one. I mean, I know DK Metcalf has good hands, right? But Harry can run routes better. He was a sleeper that he slid that far. 1,000 is a lot for a rookie, right? And Tom Brady's getting a little older, right? So I'm thinking maybe more towards that 800, yard range. But if he gets over 1,000, would I be surprised? No, because they have a lot of holes on the offense, right? Gronk's gone. A lot of the pieces are thin. Some of the pieces are injured, right, at wide receiver. So I'm thinking maybe around 800. But most people would say, yeah, maybe like 5 TDs. But if Tom Brady has a connection with him, right, which I think he does, he could end up breaking 1,000 yards and getting close to double-digit touchdowns in his rookie season just because Gronk's not there. And they're going to need someone that has good hands to make plays besides Julian Edelman. And that's big facts. And watching Harry front row at Oregon versus Arizona State, I can tell you he can go up and make Odell Beckham catches regularly. One-handed, different angles. I mean, he literally can do it all. Probably the guy I feel that's the most athletic wide receiver coming in. Obviously you got DK Metcalf, his upper body is strong, but as far as this athleticism, just doing things that are kind of out of the ordinary, I think N'Keal Harry has got it, and he could be a guy that could be a Pro Bowl wide receiver. Maybe not year one, but eventually I could see him turning into a Pro Bowl wide receiver. That's how much I like him. Even when Tom Brady's gone, he's that much of a talent. I really like him a lot. Great question. Let's see here. Tony Grady, you said you grew up a 49ers fan. What made you switch over to the Bucs? Great question. So, growing up, I saw Montana win Super Bowls, Jerry Rice, and then it went to 94, and it was Steve Young, Deion was there, right? And then they won the Super Bowl against the Chargers, blew them out. And at that point, I was 12 years old. And normally you pick your team either really, really young, maybe because your dad or someone has the influence on you. And I like that team. But then at that year, 94, I didn't think the 49ers were going to ever win another Super Bowl after that. I don't know if that was just my sports ESP kicking in, even though that was my favorite team. But all my guys were like not there anymore, or they were going to be gone soon. So Jerry Rice, I had a feeling that at some point wasn't going to be on the Niners. He wasn't. He ended up going to the Raiders and then the Seahawks and then the Broncos. So, I loved him. Obviously in the background, you can see him. Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, right? So he wasn't there anymore. Steve Young was one of the best players for a while. And then obviously, he decided to retire a few years after that. The following year, 95, right? I'm 13 years old. I'm in 7th grade, right? I'm watching the NFL draft. Right? And the Bucs select in the first round when they make a trade. They have 2 first-round picks. They pick who? Warren fucking Sapp, right, from the U. And they pick Derek Brooks and trade up and get him from Florida State. And I liked Florida Gator football in that 95-96 era with Danny Wuerffel, right? Ike Hilliard, Jaquez Green, Rydell Anthony. Do you guys remember that? Right? And that made me a Bucs fan. That transition of those 2 years of liking Florida football and watching, Jaquez Green and Rydell Anthony go to the Bucs. Ike Hilliard eventually came to the Bucs later at that wide receiving core. That was amazing, right? With obviously, oh boy, the head ball coach, coaching the Florida Gators back then. But the Warren Sapp and the Derek Brooks thing kind of did it for me. But I still love the Niners a lot. I can actually walk over here in a second. I can show you one of my prized possessions that I have. That's 49ers, and I can show it to you. I'll go up and grab it here in a second. But let's see here. And your honest take on my Niners, Deebo Samuel. I've been trying to watch tape, but I am slacking in that end. That's the thing. If you really want to be able, Ike Hilliard, the ex-Giant, yep. And, watching Steve Spurrier run that offense, that spread, and then 2 of those guys went to the Bucs, and then Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp there, I just fell in love. And then John Lynch was already there. Then Rondé came, and then I got Simeon Rice, and then Allstott was there. They had work done. Even though the quarterback was kind of shaky, they had Sean King in 99, which was kind of garbage, but they made an NFC championship game. I fell in love because I'm a defensive guy, not an offensive guy. So a lot of the pieces on the 49ers I loved was offense, but then I started to transition to more being a defensive guy. So after 94, seeing Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp just fucking dominate, you know what I mean? You had 2 first ballot Hall of Famers in the first round. How rare that really is TJ, I listen at work. Make your day go faster. Thank you. Awesome. Like a podcast, I can do it. But Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks are two of my favorite players, period, of all time. Derek Brooks is my favorite of all time, period. He's my favorite player. I mean, there's no one that I'm going to like better. Allstott's up there in my book, too. The A-Train, Lynch, I loved. Hard-hitting, guys. And then when Gruden came over, that was like a dream come true. So I'm going to go real quick just to the side over here, and I'm going to go grab my 49er memorabilia, and I'll show it to you guys. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. I'll be right back. One sec. All right, I'm back. All right, you guys ready? So this is one of my prized possessions for 49ers. Are you guys ready? Can you guys see that? I know there's might be a... There you go. Can you guys see that? Can you guys read who that is? Who is that? Who's the best 49ers ever? Wide receiver. Who's the best wide receiver ever of all time? It's Jerry motherfucking Rice. Yeah. So you boys got memorabilia. I got quite a bit. You know what I mean? But Jerry Rice. Yeah. So, yeah, my roommates actually went to. Thank you. And it's real. Like I said, my roommates that I lived with for about 4 years went to Vegas. And when they were in Vegas, they were at one of the Just Sports or one of the memorabilia stores, and they were walking by and one of the memorabilia stores, and they walked past Jerry fucking Rice just sitting there doing autographs, right? And they were like, "Oh, Orion loves Jerry Rice. We should go get it." And then they just went and got the picture. And then I have the picture. They sent it to me, and they're sitting right next to him as he's signing it. I got the receipt. I got everything, all the documentation, all the pictures. Pretty nice people, you think about to buy something like that, where they had to probably pay, $300-400 for it. Great signature with the picture. They got a couple pictures with them. The ball is sick. On the opposite side, it's got like a little carpet patch on it, with a foot. It's on the white side with the autograph, where the San Francisco kind of like a carpet patch, and on the other side of it, it's got like the accomplishments of like the Super Bowls and whatnot. So it's not just like a regular football. Very cool item. But yeah, that's a big thing with me and Jerry Rice and 49ers. So Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, anything is like my favorite. So it's like if I was going to go buy a jersey other than, Derek Brooks or someone else, Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, and the cool thing is too, is I've had so many people offer me money for it. They're like, oh, and I have the case on it, and it comes in a plastic bag from, when he put it in there, and I've literally never even taken it out of the plastic bag as a collector. So I've never even touched it or anything like that. So it's like, and one of my friends also growing up, named Jake Rosenberg, was a big Niner guy, a big, Sports Illustrated starting lineup guy, and he kind of got me into collecting because I saw all of his toys and all of his stuff, and he was a big San Francisco 49er fan and Giants fan, and just seeing with him and his collection and Hot Wheels and all that stuff, it was kind of an inspiration to me. And we would always go to his mom's room and we'd play Madden 95 on the Genesis together and be the 49ers, and you know what I mean? Like when you have memories like that, it lasts a long time, a lifetime. But yeah, I'll start bringing in some of my stuff in here so you guys can check it out. But hopefully you guys like that, Jerry Rice football. That's one of the prized possessions. Probably worth about $300-400. You know what I mean? If he passes away, it'd be worth a little more. But obviously it's in mint condition, never been touched. But like I said, I just didn't think that at that point that that they were going to win anymore. And I'm a defensive guy, so when Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp got drafted, that's kind of how much it, changed my life. Mr. Nguyen, how much you selling it for? Hey, I can't sell that. Jerry Rice, baby. I got it. But I got toys on toys on toys, my guy. I can make 40-year-old virgin's toy collection look weak. One of these days you guys will see, and you guys will just shit yourself seeing how much shit I have. But I've been collecting since I was 5 too, so that's a big thing. I've been a Niner fan since '85. I have a few signed helmets. My favorite all-time player is Rice, Montana, 1A, 1B, followed by Patrick Willis. I love fucking Patrick Willis. Was one of my favorite players. I like Navarro Bowman a lot too. awesome fucking players. Those are my top 3 Niners ever. Respect. Patrick Willis was a guy that no one expected to be good at all, and he ended up being way better than anyone expected. If without Patrick Willis and Harbaugh, no Super Bowl appearance, and you guys could have probably won that fucking Super Bowl. It was so close. You know what I mean? You had about a 3-4 year run, just like the Seahawks did. Just kind of unfortunate you couldn't get over the top there. Even though I'm a Raider Nation all day, my dad's a Dolphin fanatic, and my favorite piece of merch I have is a signed Marino jerseys. Big props. I have a guy at work that's a big Marino guy too. Dan Marino is one of the best quarterbacks to never get a ring, and I love watching his. Sometimes I'll just watch YouTube highlights of him, just to kind of reminisce of back when I used to watch him. It's fucking awesome stuff. Joe Montana, Elway, just going back and watching the greats from back in that era. This is really Kyle Velasquez. Really random and off topic, but why are your microphones only left or right and not both? Just because I have so much equipment here, and so I have to get it kind of, routed a certain way. And with the equipment that I have, since I had it moved, I don't have it set up in a certain way where I can have it just everything on the left or everything on the right. So for the time being, instead of having it just like in the one left, earbud or right earbud, for example, if I'm here just by myself, I'll just use the 2 mics. And I kind of like using the 2 mics. I don't mind it, Makes it a little bit louder in here, and I can, do my thing. So, let's see here. It's a shame that you probably won't see the Hall because he didn't play long enough. I hope he gets in, but a first ballot is 100% no. Yeah. Are you talking about Patrick Willis? Yeah, I love Patrick Willis. Yeah. By the way, love you guys from PA, all Philly, everything. Thanks for answering. I'm a sound tech. Oh, well, fuck. Fly out here to Nike headquarters in Beaverton and help me out with my equipment, and stuff. Because I got so much different things on here with the way it's plugged in with all my equipment, it's confusing. So, I just try to get out here and, do my thing and make videos. And I'm so busy watching tape and watching NFL Network and reading, it's one of those things. But it's been about 2 hours. Like I said, I've done 5 videos today and plus this live stream. You guys are fucking awesome. I think I need to go work out. As you can see, I'm sweating pretty profusely in here. I need to be able to turn the fans on, and I'm going to go work out probably for 30 minutes to an hour. And then, like I said, I might end up, busting out another video after I get back. But I'll be back for another live stream. I love you guys. Yeah. So you guys are great. It's really not a big deal. I was just curious. Yeah. I mean, if I knew how everything worked, I'd have everything on the sound perfect. I'd have custom thumbnails that were fucking fire. I'd have an editing team here helping me out to edit shit that looked awesome. But it'll come in time. But I just don't have it just yet. But at least you have great content. And you have the passion and the energy for me, and you got the best fans on YouTube on this fucking channel, that really respect me and Marcus and the grind. Appreciate every single one of you guys. The donations tonight were fucking lit. You guys are crazy. I love you, and I'm going to be grinding a lot. Like I said, I want to do as many videos as I can tomorrow as well. If I have to do 4, 5, 6 fucking videos and a live video, I'll do that. And once the season starts, I'm going to try to do 3 live college football games on still one of you guys that donated, ask questions, fucking smash that like button, shared the fucking video, tell friends. You guys are the fucking best. Every single one of you guys, TJ, all of you. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you so much, every single one of you guys, as I go through all the comments. And like I said, I'll be back. Look for another video maybe later tonight. I might have another reaction video of a player to do, maybe a Juju Smith-Schuster. I know that was one of the suggestions. But then I'll be back tomorrow. Going to visit my dad, watch Dodgers and Nationals, and then I'll be back later on Sunday to grind out some videos too. I have one question to ask you guys, and you know what it is. Who talks sports like us? Northwest Sports Fanatics. And thank you guys so much again for the donations, and I'm out. Love you guys.